right, we're back with Not Truly Aggressive, episode number 11.
11. Wait, we
Yeah.
hit double digits last time and we didn't acknowledge it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 10 is like, it's double digits, but like, come on, man.
Is it really? Yeah, that's a good point. It's such a base
Hey,
take. 10 is
yeah.
actually a single digit number. Yeah, it's a base take.
I mean, yeah, it's a meaningless milestone in my opinion, but
Mm-hmm.
you can celebrate it if you'd like.
Okay, I will. I will do that.
All right. Any topics that you want to cover before I jump into my idea for today?
Well, because you said you wrote something down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what are some? I feel like I have updates. I have a board and train drop off in a couple days.
Okay. Yep.
Board and train drop off in a couple days. The one paid
Yeah, I
client
guess you
dog.
can do the cheesy ask if you have any 2025 resolutions.
2026.
Plans. 2026. Yes.
Yeah, I'm hoping to turn 34.
Yeah. It's a good goal.
Hoping to get that one out of the way pretty quick.
Yeah.
What else? No, I don't really. It's actually a good question. I don't really think about it like that. I kind of just exist and I just do things. I'm like
Yeah, same.
I'm like a
Same.
single-celled organism. I'm just kind of like reacting to the environment around me, and just growing bigger and bigger, and just consuming
Yes, consuming all of the
with no
entities in
emotion.
your environment. Yeah.
Yeah, emotionless and cold. I am the emotionless and cold evolutionary reality.
Love
That
that.
is
Love
that
that.
is what I am.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that it'll be. I have plans, rough plans, I guess,
Yeah.
of things I would like to do. The one thing that's been on the table a lot, people are constantly trying to get me to leave the country to go do things, and I really would like to at some point. It's just like I've talked about before. I don't understand how dog trainers pull that off when you have to schedule things out. Like you can't, like if I were gonna go to the UK or something, I feel like that would just totally destroy my life for like a month.
It would,
And
yeah.
the way that I do behavioral cases too, I don't like having deadlines. You know what I mean? It's kind of I feel like that's one of the things about sport that's cool is that you have competition days. So there has to be some level in that sense of like hard line
But
temporal accountability.
you can also change it. Like it's not
You can just not compete at that one or
you
do
can
it.
set a goal, but then go like, actually, there's this problem that I want to take another month for.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
Yeah.
as much as it is like helpful for goal setting, but I definitely also appreciate the aspect of not being
Yeah.
like dead committed. I'm not beholden to anybody else to meet that deadline.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So it's like a halfway thing. But
yeah,
for me, there's zero. Like I can just do as much as I want with the dog. So it's hard for me to do that. That's probably like a realistically more of a 2027 type deal. For me. I want to get another year of like hardcore dog training done. Like hardcore crazy. I want to be going at a pace that I mean, it's the same pace that I've been going at, which is an absurd pace. But I'm gonna keep the gas pedal down. I'm gonna be trying to find more really challenging dogs, really struggling dogs. As always, chugging away at the shelter. I've got new shelter developments we can talk about. Um, I've got a potential. We've talked about this off camera. Um, a potential project that um, it's totally out of my hands whether or not it can happen. But I think that the chances are increasing that it will take place. And it could be the most important thing that I've ever done in dog training if I'm allowed to do what I want to do with this particular dog. I can't give any more detail. I hate being this guy. I hate being this
I
because it's
mean,
excruciating.
the people that are following along,
They can possibly
probably
put
can,
pieces together.
yeah,
They can
figure
you
it
can
out.
kind of like if you know the deep lore, you can probably figure out what I'm trying to do. and you can imagine the potential forces that could impede that from happening. Um, but I will say right now, without giving hardline facts on anything, things are looking good, and there seem to be potential agreements that can be made that can allow me to get my hands on a really struggle, like a dog that's in a really bad situation, and save his life. And if I mean if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'll tell everyone what happened, and we'll move on. But
Yeah.
it could very well be, if it happens, it could be very well be the implications in terms of helping dogs and saving dogs would be well outside of just this single dog. It would be a big deal if I could do what I want to do. I should know in a week. I should know in a week's time. And if I get the green light, we're gonna start immediately. Like we're gonna start yesterday. So like you'll start seeing training like right now. Um, so there's that. Again, if that doesn't work out, I'm gonna find another another big thing to do. But for this winter, my dog that I have coming in a couple days, is actually coming all the way from Indianapolis.
Oh, wow.
So like when people get in touch with me, I like black out. I black out about details except for the dogs.
Yeah, yeah, but all the
So like
logistics of
I
location,
just
yeah.
knew, right. I just knew that this family, I mean it's a man or wife. I just knew that they had some distance to travel. But for me in my head, I kind of just throw people into this void
Yeah.
space where it's like it could be anywhere from 3 to 12 hours driving.
Right, right, you're
And I
either
don't
local
discriminate.
or you're not, and then it
Correct.
doesn't really
Cor-
matter from there.
Correct. If you're outside of like 2 hours,
Yeah,
you might as well
it's all the
be
same
in
in Alaska.
California. You could
Yeah.
be in Colorado. You could be in Hawaii. Like it's just so they have a long way to travel. They're doing it over a couple days, and unfortunately, the insane snowstorms that we've had the last like 2 weeks are continuing. But yeah, I'm getting that dog. He should turn out to be pretty interesting. Um, Human aggression case, though that's not what drew me to him. So I put out a I don't think I talked about him on this show like in this
Yeah, I
way
don't think
yet.
so. Yeah.
Um, this was like I want to say 4 or 5 months ago. I put out a PSA. Yeah, I think it was just after the shelter workshop. So how long ago? Whatever. I put out a PSA. I was like, what do you guys think I should work on this winter? Like I want to take on something weird, and I was talking to people about it. And the thing that we came down to was the thing that stood out to me as the most interesting would be a vehicle reactivity case. And
Yeah.
not like a dog that kind of gets excited. I mean, like you know what I'm talking about. You see some of those crazy edge fringe cases where the dog's like, it's actually Scout's my dog. Her origin, the reason why I ended up with her was that at 6 months old she was doing shit on leash to this lady around cars that I still have never seen until this dog. And that's back when I didn't even know how to train dogs. But
Is he
this
worse than
dog,
Inga, do you think? Because Inga is kind of similar.
with the performance, is around the same intensity, but the intent and the resilience, I think, that I see on camera, again, it's way different when you're in person. The forwardness is much stronger in the cattle dog. Inga was very like awkwardly blowing up, and it just looked fucking insane. Um, but like this dog, you like try to hold him back, and he'll like go at the owner. Like
Right,
he's
okay.
like, no, I need to get to that car right now. Like he cannot. He is just like nuclear. And the guy sent me footage. It came in. It looked like it was shot on an Atari. So I'm gonna ask him to Bluetooth it to me when he shows up in a couple days. But the footage
Yeah.
is great. Like you guys will laugh your asses off. I've shown it in some places, but I'll put it up again everywhere so that people can see when I start with them. But so I put out that PSA, like I want to take on like a crazy vehicle reactivity case, and I got a message from this guy, now I know, from Indianapolis, and it was like, yo, like I'm really into like the TWC style, but I've only talked to people and done like voice video messages and stuff. I haven't had like a hands-on TWC experience with my dog. This is what he's doing with package delivery vehicles, and it is only package delivery vehicles, which makes it more interesting to me. And he showed me the videos, and I was like, dude, give me him. Like, I want him. And he was like, I just want to mention too, like the major focus for me personally, like this is a big one. But the vehicle thing is a big one, but he's also human aggressive. And he he does the thing where, like, if there's a visitor in the house, he'll go up to him, say, you sit down at a chair. He'll go up to the person, put his back to him, and sit on their foot and kind of like lean into him, like, hey, pet me. The person starts petting. 10 seconds later, he's taking their fingers off.
Interesting.
He'll just like periodically change his mind and fuck people up. There
Mhm.
was another incident too where like an old lady reached over their backyard fence
Yep.
and he went after her and ripped her finger up really bad. But that's kind of like a skill
Mm.
issue on the old lady. It's like, come on,
Yeah,
they don't do that.
yeah. Don't reach
But
over
I mean,
fences.
obviously not
Yeah.
good. Obviously not good. Like you don't like that.
Right, right.
But to me, the the human aggression part of it is going to be that handling and knowing how to just leave instead of like trying to make people fuck off by attacking them. That which I'm very familiar with doing this type of thing. Very, very familiar. Because now I've had how many dogs do this? And it's
And Blue is like
most of them are cattle
that.
dogs. Blue,
Yeah.
Max, Charlie,
Charlie,
Chip,
yeah.
Chip the Chihuahua.
Yep,
Uh,
yep.
Chip is pretty much like the stereotypical case on that because Max would do that, but he wasn't even allowing people to pet. Like if your hands went, he would just go off. Chip would actually just like the whole thing that got him in trouble at the shelter was he was totally cool with them petting him for like 2 weeks. And then a girl was like kneeling down with him and he curled up sort of in her lap and then just went off on her when she
Right.
was petting him.
Yeah.
And
Those are
that
always
became a huge
interesting from
problem.
like what is the dog's motivations? Like those are always interesting ones to dissect. Because like it's usually not super cut and dry. Like the
It's
solution is oftentimes similar, but
right.
yeah, like the underlying temperament of the dog can be it's kind of wild to watch actually sometimes.
That so what you just said where the solution typically looks roughly similar depending.
Yeah.
That's sort of the thing. Like I will admit, I don't know what's actually going on in these dogs' minds when they do that.
Yeah.
I just know I can fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Much of the time, at least I have like a very good score on that right now. Again, we have no idea what could happen with this dog. You don't know with behavioral mod, blah blah blah, all the disclaimers. But I'm very confident dealing with that through just like acceptance and an understanding of escalation of force, which is another thing that for
Yeah,
some
it's like
reason
stress tolerance and social skills is kind of the
combined.
solution. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is stress tolerance and social awareness
Mhm.
and just and for some reason, unfortunately, like a lot of people don't think dogs. They think that if a dog is capable of biting like that, they're totally incapable of learning another way, which is
Correct.
false, which is totally
Yes.
false. And like I
Yes.
can't like I just show this, but whatever. Like it's like I've talked about before. Like I was watching Chip's intake video again because he's coming back to visit for a week when his owner goes out of town. She was like, Dylan, he's doing amazing. I love this dog, but
Aw.
I don't trust anyone else with him. And I was like, say less. Like I get it because he's a fucking weirdo. I don't want you sending because this is an old lady. I don't want you dropping him
Yeah.
off to
Some
some
random
unassuming old
that's
lady
yeah.
that promises I've owned dogs my whole life and no, don't worry about it and just and then Gladys gets fucking torn up again. Like I don't know. Like I don't think Chip has it in him anymore, but I would rather not fuck with that.
Yeah, it's just not
And
worth it. Yeah.
that's another one about realistic expectations with behavioral rehabilitation. It's like, yeah, I I oftentimes pull off pretty strong results. That does not mean that I recommend the client go out and constantly fuck with that and find out. It's like we push the dog as far as we can. We make the regular day-to-day life shout out as clear and as peaceful as possible. And we also disaster proof extensively. However, you don't make disasters happen on purpose. You know what I mean?
Correct.
You're not like seeking disasters. It's we
Yes.
test it and we prove for it. But
Yep.
if there's an easy workaround where it's like, I would actually just rather drive an extra 40 minutes and bring him to
Yep.
Dylan
Why
then
gamble?
like fuck it. Like then you don't have to think about it while you're on the trip. He's with me. and it's
Yeah.
gonna be cool. Um,
Yeah.
so that is something about Chip, or behavioral case dogs when people want someone to board the dog or come, check on the dog, take him out during the day over a weekend while I'm out of town or whatever. That that is something that it's not like it's off limits. It just requires some level of preparation to do safely and responsibly. You know what I mean? And that is something that ends up, for whatever reason, it ends up being sort of a common request that I get from clients. They'll tell me, sometimes they fail to mention it before the program, and they'll tell me post program. They'll say like, "Well, I don't know, fucking in 3 months, I've got a cruise that I'm going on, and I'm going to be out of town for 5 days." And let's just say, for argument's sake, this is a client that can't drive the dog to me. They're like across the country or something. Like, what do I do about that? Now, that time frame, like 3 months, is plenty of fucking time. That's like overkill time, right? You start getting into like the week, 2 weeks. Now we're kind of getting, danger zone. So it is, it is an actual skill that should be tested and developed during the program, which is to say, introducing the dog to people in scenarios where you sort of let there be a lot of like independent interactions. You know what I mean? So you build towards that and you develop strategies. This is how you get this dog accustomed to people, so on and so forth. Like, I just know a dog like Max or a dog like Win, they require zero introduction at this point. But a dog like Charlie, you cannot. I mean, it would be an interesting test. You should not just be like, "Oh, my brother's coming into town. He hasn't seen Charlie in 4 years, and fuck it, we're gonna just go for it." I would not recommend you do that. I would not recommend you do that. It is very well within the possibility, if you pushed that dog with a shitload of pressure inside of his own home, he would bite. Now, I would like to think the intensity would be drastically decreased to where when he initially came to me, he was literally all four paws off the floor, attacking like my upper body and all that. Um, I think he would more than likely snap at the hand and try to get away. But still, you don't want to do that to the dog, and especially if it's a scenario where the person's going to be alone with the dog. You don't want some stupid shit happening. Oh my god, I saw this video. It drove me up a fucking wall. Where and it wasn't even the video, it was the people responding to the video. This girl that was like a rover day, like take the dog out in the day person, right?
Yep.
There was a video of her going over to a client's house, and the dog is like posturing in the middle of the kitchen, like arched like a panther, full mouth of teeth, bearing at this girl, and like
Ugh.
really like in a standoff. And this is just like a 17-year-old girl. And this dog is like fucking like ready, like looks, again, I'm not there, but
Right. Right.
looks ready to go, right?
Right.
And the comments are from dog trainers going, "The dog's just afraid. What's your problem?" Fuck, dude.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
Okay. And people were ripping this. It was like a burn the witch scenario. They were like, "We need to
Wow.
destroy this girl." It's like, okay,
Wow.
so I'm gonna help you guys out, okay? Anybody that is confused on this. A dog that attacks you because he's still afraid can
Still
still
puts holes in
fuck
you.
you up.
Yes.
Some of the
There's
worst
like
attacks
plenty
can
of
happen.
wild animals that have killed
Yeah,
people just because they're
out of
afraid.
fear. Like, I feel bad.
Yes.
So in this event, we're again, to get back to
Typically not predatory, actually.
right,
Like, yeah.
correct.
Anyway.
Um, so so in the event that I've got a behavioral case dog that went home, has a bite history, I don't care. Like, we need to do it the right way, right? Because even if he doesn't feel super violent and pissed off anymore, he could still be afraid, and a dog can still bite you because he's afraid. That's sort of, again, like the weirdo double
Yeah.
think cognitive dissonance that happens. It's like,
Yeah.
many of those people that were tearing that dog sitter to pieces would be the first ones to say, "Don't punish aggression
Put it
because the
down.
dog's
Well,
attacking
yeah.
because he's afraid." Yeah, and also, yeah, put him down.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that, it's like, okay, so pick one then. Like, it's ridiculous. Um, so yeah, when the dog is with me and we're doing the program, we do a shitload of personal interactions, personal introductions, and I get a really strong sense of what the dog needs to really open up and be like, I'm cool with this person, right? So I talked about this a lot with Ollie, where it actually turns out plays a big one for him, but it's actually obedience. Like, you take him out, you go for a walk, you hand the leash off to the person, and you have them heel him around and sit him and release him and recall him and middle him and heel him and down and do all these, and find a moment where you can say, hey, give him a little pop on the leash to reinforce something. That is where
Yeah.
he just fundamentally in his mind, he flips, he goes, you
Now
are
I
a
have
person to be
clarity.
taken
Yep.
seriously. Correct.
Yep.
You are not a victim, you are not a target, you're not a rival, you are an authority figure. And then when you close that with, I'm going to be the one to sit you, take your leash off, and we're going to go play ball, it's over.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't mean to say it's over 100%. Like, I still wouldn't have that person break into your house at 4 in the morning and dive onto
Right.
bed, right?
Right.
But like that's a person where you can begin doing a, hey, let's run some mock. You
Yep.
come over, you take them out for a walk yourself, and we prepare for when I go on my trip.
Yep.
That type of thing is really, really important just to avoid disaster. And also too, you actually, if you get as warped of a brain as me, those scenarios which would normally cause a dog owner or a trainer to panic, they become really good training scenarios. You really, now you have an excuse sitting right in front of you. Let's have the dog be independent with another person, and that's awesome. That can be really, really cool. Anyways,
Mhm.
so
But no, I like that kind of what I wanted to talk about today was like segue from realistic expectations about like what is common sense
yeah,
in terms of like, hey, there's no need to push a dog to do that.
yeah,
Um, versus actually we do need to address this in training or it is useful enough and you do the risk reward benefit on it. But the thing that made me think of it, I like want to discuss this topic was you posted one of your Q&As on your Instagram stories and one of them was something to the effect of would you ever um rehab a dog with child aggression or like how would you
mhm,
handle that?
yeah,
And you basically were like, hey, this is super high stakes and obviously if like real answer is it's likely not actually child aggression 99% of the time, but if it is actually that type of dog that looks at children as prey or whatever this
right,
specific scenario is, it's like why would you risk that a dog in the home with small children? So I think, but and the reason I bring that up is I think a lot of people might be a little bit surprised to hear you say that. Um, and not because it's like a wild thing to say, but just because you do have what looks like an extreme opinion on the risk that you'll take on in rehab. Um, and like again, that's one of those things where like I think like duh, this is common sense, but and I think that then you assume that other people also would know that. But
yeah,
it's like, okay, that's common sense, but then what's that like slippery slope into it's not really child aggression, but we're not even going to try. We're not even going to give the dog a fair evaluation, right? Like
yeah,
getting into like, okay, the flip side of it is the spoof video you made of Remy the
yeah,
toy doll.
yeah,
It's like, well, that's ridiculous, but at the same time, like, don't be stupid either.
yeah,
Um, and I just kind of wanted to address that and like even getting into like behavioral euthanasia and just like the logistics of it, considerations, et cetera, et cetera. I know it's like obviously a difficult topic to make any general statements on, but I think a lot of people that it can be difficult to I almost just want to parse apart like the fact that a ton of people euthanize way too soon, but also the fact that like sometimes logistics do constrain us. Um, and just kind of like talk about that and like what is an actual reasonable, like rather than sort of uh reaction to the over euthanasia, it's like, okay, what is the actual like middle ground reasonable solution? Um, so yeah, anyway, I like just curious on your thoughts on that, I guess.
Yeah.
Generally,
Well, I mean,
we
I
could
don't
go
think
off
it'll be
topic.
a I don't think it'll be a surprise to a lot of people that are listening. Actually, maybe I'm wrong on that. The reason why the child aggression thing is in the dog training lens right now is because of some really bad videos that were put out by a really vicious, dangerous, sick person. Um, and that person knows what she's doing, which is why when you see me interact, this is something that you've talked to me about before, where it's just kind of interesting how there are some number of people, I don't think it's a lot, but some number of people that can't understand that you change your behavior based on who you're interacting with, and that's just like normal human experience. The
Yep.
same thing, it's like your presentation and the way you talk about things changes depending on the nature of the topic, right? So when I'm dealing with people that genuinely are just evil, like brutal people that are actively looking for excuses to kill dogs, my reaction to that is not all bets are off, every dog is perfect, open the kennels and let them go.
Mhm.
That doesn't have to be that. That is like a fake straw man that sociopaths will use to defend their behavior, right? So it is actually possible to talk about things and think about things by weighing facts, evidence, common sense, logistics, and morality. Okay.
Mhm.
So actual aggression against children specifically. I haven't been doing this for that long. There's that disclaimer. But again, there are people that have been training dogs for 30 years. They haven't trained a single day. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Actual targeted violence against children, I have never seen. I have never seen a dog that is just like, I have to, if I'm out in public and I see a kid, I'm killing it. I have never seen it. And I have been going out of my way to be in the mud and the gore and the insanity of the pet training world and the shelter world. Like I've been actively seeking that experience. I am not, I'm not going to say names. I'm not someone sitting in the back of a facility playing hula hoop clicker games with poodles trying to comment on this type of thing. I'm out there. You know what I mean? Like yeah. I don't want to pull rank. I'm just telling you, I'm very familiar with the dogs that should be doing that, right? The dogs that you would think should be doing that, and they just don't.
Yep.
Well, did
Well,
you
and we
go
can
ahead and
get back
respond?
to like I just want to put a pin in this because I want to let you keep going, but a lot of times what looks like aggression towards children or even human aggression generally is oftentimes like it's both more complex and more simple than people think it is. Like oftentimes it's like let's say like play biting with kids, right? Like that is a training issue that's very, very, very easy to solve.
Yeah.
And I
Most
think
of the
it
time.
is,
Most of the
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. But like the actual, yeah, to say that there's like dogs that are specifically child aggressive, again, I'm sure they exist, but
Yeah.
it's sort of a,
Well, they obviously do because there are dogs that kill kids. That does
yeah,
happen,
but even
unfortunately.
even that though, like I would argue that that's not like a child specific issue. It's
Right.
probably a
Right.
broader emotional
Yeah.
regulation issue.
Right.
So I'm just kind of saying like the label is just an odd label because I would
Yeah. Yeah.
label a dog that kills a kid as a dangerous dog for sure.
Right.
Like, again,
Right.
don't get me wrong, I would not risk like that would absolutely be a risk calculation. But I also would not be shocked if that same dog ripped apart another small dog. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Right. I
that's the
agree.
thing. Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree. It's a emotional regulation, social
yeah,
pressure, and
yeah.
an unfulfilled drives issue.
Correct,
I will say
like it's
I
not
do.
this like genetic. It's not like like it would be very, very odd the way that we very specifically bred dogs to this point, it would be very like a dog sees a rabbit and it's like that makes sense genetically
Right.
for them to do. Like we can say, I mean, if you want to be kind of like silly about it, you can say dogs have rabbit aggression or squirrel aggression, right? And that would be kind of true. Like I could accept that as like the dog sees a target, or sorry, sees a squirrel, and that's a very target specific behavior. But I don't think there are many dogs out there, and if they are, it's something like very deeply genetically wrong, that
Yeah.
see a kid and go, I must kill specifically children or
Right.
humans, right? Like
Right.
that is not, it doesn't make sense. It's usually something different going on. Like we would never go like, "Oh, this dog wants to kill a squirrel. Let's
Yeah.
do emotional regulation and counter condition," and like all that stuff. We'd just be like, "Okay, this is a behavior that's always going to be instinctual for the dog," and we train through it as like, "Hey, you have to have control around this highly motivating thing that you want to do or whatever."
Yeah.
Like obviously we can control it, but that's not the same as like these human aggression rehab cases. Oh, there's not an innate motivation to kill people. Do you know what I
No.
mean? Like
Right.
that I think is when people say specifically like child aggressive, there's kind of that implication that
Yeah.
the dog is specific target seeking children to bite
Yeah.
and
Well,
kill. And it's like that
it's
is not,
in the
that's not
case
normal.
in the case specifically that popped all of this off, it's not an implication that the person literally draws a direct line
Okay,
between
correct.
dogs and pedophiles.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes.
I don't think I saw
Yes.
this video then.
Yep.
Oh,
Well,
weird.
it's in the voiceover on my clip. Um,
Okay,
it's
okay.
like it's just like people that specifically target children. There's something in there, like
Oh,
just crazy.
oh,
Um, so so to
that is bizarre. And, okay, not to get, like, too off on a tangent about this, but even humans that specifically target kids, there's usually other stuff going on. Like, again, like,
Sure,
obviously
sure.
highly problematic,
But
but
I
it's
like
usually not as simple as, like, I was born to target kids. It's
right.
usually some stunted
But I'll
developmental
give I'll
weirdness
give
going on.
I'll
But
give
yeah, go
a
ahead.
I'll just give more of my take, and I think that I mean, I know that I docked you a little bit when we were talking. I can't remember when it was. I said that there are certainly people that I would rather have die than dogs. The person that we're referencing, I would gladly have her die than any dog. Um, Probably celebrate it, but not probably, definitely. But I said people that I don't think are actually like satanic, like people that I just don't like.
Yeah,
Someone that
yeah,
was an asshole to me, or someone that we got into it, and I just think they're just kind of a nasty person. I would sooner kill one of my own dogs to save that person's life, and I wouldn't even think twice about it.
yeah,
Because I
yeah,
think that for me personally, the
which I
value
don't
of
agree with, but
right, the value to me, the value of a human life, the value of
yeah,
mankind
which is
is
hilarious that Kimberly finally has a hot take that might be more
right.
controversial
No,
than
that's
Billy.
no, it is scorching hot. It's scorching hot. That is a scorching hot take. But like let's again, you draw up like a thought experiment, guys. That's another
Yeah,
topic. That's another topic, but
yeah.
that's fat. Anyways,
The
um,
fucking trolley problem, yeah.
no, someone took the dog baseball bat thing and literally did what you said they would do, and was like, yeah, if you had that conversation on the internet, you would have people literally saying you beat dogs with bats,
Yep.
and that actually happened with this fat BPD queen. And it was so fucking. It was
Oh
actually.
my gosh.
It was perfect to highlight the absurdity of everything. Um,
Yeah,
Actually, like super
forgot about
timely
that.
and everything. But
Yeah.
all according to plan. We love this.
Yep.
We love our transparency and the people taking the masks
Yes.
off. But
Yes.
if you come up with the trolley problem, or like a good one, there was a sci-fi Will Smith sci-fi movie that came out in the mid 2000s. It's kind of I think it's slightly underrated. It's called iRobot.
Oh,
Um,
I've heard of it, never seen
and
it anyway.
it's an AI sort of like questions about consciousness and all that. There's a robot, a safety protocol, like Android, that is programmed to rescue people in disasters based off of probability the person can be saved,
Mm,
versus making value judgments on the target himself.
yep.
So a situation comes up at the beginning of the movie. The reason why Will Smith's character despises mechanical entities generally, because he was in a car accident with his daughter. The car goes into a lake. The robot goes in and sees there's a 5% chance to save the girl, there's a 20% chance to save dad, and picks the higher
Oh,
probability outcome, right?
yep.
So like in
Brutal.
that scenario, if you put one of my dogs and someone I don't like in the car, I'm saving the person. Um, that's just the way that I feel and the way I am. So, with that said, to loop that back to the threat of child aggression, there are some good. The movie's dumb, but there's some good moments in that movie.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
there are like really, it's I want to rewatch it.
Yeah, no,
There are
I
a lot of
find movies that make you think about, or I mean any books, whatever, any piece of, what's the word I'm looking for? Not literature specifically. Anyway. Anything that makes you think of like moral gray areas, or even like uh movies or books with like gray characters, are always super super interesting to me. I get
that
so sucked into that shit. Yeah.
that movie did have an impact, like longer lasting impact, because I like when people started really talking about AI a lot, like 10, 15 years ago, like even when I was in high school, I formed my opinion, which I still hold today, which there is a level of artificial consciousness that would be deserving of human rights, in my opinion.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah.
but there was a moment, I don't want to spoil anything, because I'm sure after
Yeah.
this, you're just going to go right to the computer and watch this. But there's a very cool moment towards the end of the movie where one of the robots shows the capacity to lie, and it's really interesting. But uh, so to circle it back to the child aggression thing, um, it would be a better world if right now I had a button on my table that would instantly end the heartbeat of any dog that had a realistic capacity to attack a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would do it. I would do it, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't even. I would go to sleep tonight, and it wouldn't even cross my
Yeah.
mind. I mean, literally. And all these dogs, so many of these dogs, how many of them would I love personally too?
Right. Right.
And play, and we'd have a great time. But I'm talking about a 1% chance that
Yeah.
dog's in a bad
Also, I
mood.
just want to clarify one statement. I would potentially save my own personal dog over a human adult life, but kids
Yeah,
to me are different because there's still potential.
sure, sure. No,
Which
I get
actually
you.
is what this is all about, right? Is like,
Right,
are we making a realistic evaluation? Like,
right,
how does the robot figure out what's 5% and what's 20%? Like,
right,
that's the question, and that's where we
right,
get in trouble. But if we could, with certainty, make decisions, like I'm very like utilitarian in that way. Like that's probably like the closest philosophical lineup for me. So if we could actually with certainty know the outcomes
right.
of a dog, a human, whatever, and
Well, now it's the
the
Minority Report. Have you seen that one?
no,
You got to
actually.
get on. What is with you and your sci-fi catalog? It's butt cheeks.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I don't watch movies and TV shows that often because like I actually have like a problem where I get like too fucking sucked into shit.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'll be like ruminating on it for days. So
I
like
love that shit.
um I
I love
know, but
walking
I
away
need to
from a
like set
movie
aside
disturbed.
time for
I
it.
love walking
Yes.
away from a movie
No, I
fucked
love
up.
it too, but it's like
Um,
I it does like there was what was it? What was it called? There's this TV show, I think it was called like Shrinking or something.
oh, I've heard about that. Yeah, I heard about
Yeah, it
that.
was so
Yeah.
good though, but like a lot of really, really interesting, like gray
I heard that was a
moral
really
dilemma.
controversial one, which I like. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, but it was so
Edges.
good. It was so good. Yeah, and like I literally like binge watched that series and then was just like for a month I was like, "Oh my god, just yeah."
See,
Anyway,
the thing I need is I need either magic or robots, and then I'm okay.
interesting. Yeah.
I'm a fantasy cuck.
Anything that has, I am in books, I like fantasy, but anything that explores human nature, I'm like I don't care about the setting as long as there's complex character development
Give
and
me,
narrative. But
give me Terminator. Give
yes.
me Alien. Give me the Matrix. I'll gobble
Yeah.
that. But then you get into more, yeah, more grounded
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, I like grounded stuff too, but
Yeah, yeah,
I'm into that type of shit. So
for sure.
so so again,
Anyway, so if you could
a
push a
dog
button
and
and
kill
yeah,
every
dog
dog in
versus
every
kid. Yep.
shelter in the world, right? Just
Yep.
call them immediately.
Yep.
That if there's a 1% chance that dog on a bad day is going to turn on the kid in the home and hurt him, I would rather that dog just be dead. That's just the reality. Here's my problem. I don't think anyone with a conscience and a clear moral understanding actually disagrees with much of what's been said yet, right? There could be little here and there. You can argue over the percentage chance and all that type of shit, whatever.
Yeah.
But like conceptually, we're sort of all here, right?
Yep. Yep.
This is the problem. This is the problem as I see it. The net is
Yes.
cast so wide,
Correct.
it almost looks like it was specifically designed to kill good dogs.
Correct.
That is my problem.
Correct.
I mean, we
Well,
are
and it
not
is.
searching.
I do
right.
believe it is.
It's not that we have people searching for criminals and like, oh, we have this new vigilante initiative that go like the Punisher, like he goes out and he kills murderers. It's like there's some number of people that'd be like, fuck it, I mean, there's obviously like moral implications and all of that, and what does the law really mean? And but
Yeah.
if that person instead was just killing anyone that's ever punched a human being,
Correct.
even if you did it like in a consensual way in a sport,
Yep. Yep.
then
Even
all
better.
of a sudden it's like, wait, this is like a holocaust of just like normal people. Every once in a while you get lucky and you actually will stop a bad actor. But for the most part, you look like you are targeting normal people. Right? So that is what's happening in the shelters. It's actually even worse than that. Because punching still, like, obviously can be done in jest, it can be done in sport, but that's even more inflammatory than what the dogs are doing.
Yeah.
It looks as
It
These-
looks as if you're killing anything with a degree of emotional expression that goes above.
but it's worse than that too.
Yeah.
Because the targets are desperate and they are set up in living conditions that make them behave desperately. So it's not even like you're doing this with a dog that has a life. That would be bad enough. Now you're doing this with a dog that has nothing. And what these people do is they go into shelters and torment and provoke the dogs. The dogs show some, like you said, a heartbeat. Any degree that you're a living mammal.
Yes.
And they die.
Mm-hmm.
And people won't believe me. And it has been driving me insane ever since I became aware of it about 2 years ago. And people, I think on one level, you've got force-free Lima people that they do enjoy it. I think it's probably a small part, like small percentage.
Yeah.
They enjoy killing. They get some sort of like.
Well, it's a feeling of moral superiority because
Correct.
they think they're doing the thing of pushing the button and saving a bunch of kids.
Right. I'm being controversial because I'm standing between my community and these monsters. And you're actually just torturing and killing innocent dogs.
Right.
And then you turn around, and to me, the part that's the most disgusting of it, I mean, obviously the killing is the most disgusting, but the thing that to me that is the most insulting is they turn around and they want you to pat them on the back. And you want them to give hugs. They want you to give them a hug and tell you, oh my God, you're such a hero for doing. So, and some number of balance trainers have been totally fine with this operation. So that there's those percentage of people, wolf mother canine, thinking canine, these like force-free Lima behaviorists, they're sociopaths with Munchausen by proxy, a bunch of brutal personality disorders. They are egomaniacs. They've never been told they've been wrong about anything in their entire lives. They despise dogs. They hate dogs. And they wake up every single morning thinking, how can I profit financially and emotionally off of the suffering of these dogs? That is, and reputationally, that is their modus operandi. That is actually what they do. I will not hear anything else until I'm provided evidence. Because they just openly give evidence to that point on a routine basis. And a lot of you have just been sitting around not paying attention. Whatever. I'm not going to get bitter right now. Then you've got their followers, right? And these are a lot of like rank and file force-free people that just lack the capacity to engage in any critical thought whatsoever. And I hate them too. Like I truly want horrible things to happen to them as well. but their impact is less devastating in that many of them aren't actual dog trainers. They're not actually going into shelters, but they
Well,
spread
and
the word.
there's also a lot of like the sort of rank and file balance trainers that just take people at face value. Where if
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
on social media says this dog is aggressive, we just
yep.
believe them,
Just accept
which
it. Yeah, yeah.
would be nice if we could just believe people, but we
Right.
that's true.
No, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. And this is on the balance side that
Because I think
is
I believed them for a little while that
you did, and I did
before
too.
I like figured out, you know what I mean?
Yes,
But like
I did
early
too.
on in your career when you can only see the surface level of dog behavior and you're like, "Oh shit, that dog's biting a
Hmm.
kid." Or whatever,
Right.
like bad behavioral
He's
manifestation.
jumping. You know when
You trust
they
them.
go to, when
Yeah,
they go
because
to, when
they are presenting themselves as experts and you're like, "Well, they must be right." Yeah.
they go to his kennel and look, he's jumping at the fence.
Right. Right. And
Ninety
even
nine
like
point
the ones that are like growling and barking aggressively looking, it's like convincing enough if you're kind of
ninety
a
nine
more
point
everyday
nine
person.
percent.
Yep.
You open the kennel and he comes out with his tail wagging.
Yep. Yep. But you don't know that.
Ninety nine point
You're
nine
just
percent
watching
repeating.
the clip.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
So, and I believe them too.
Yep.
So yeah, like on the balance side, you've got people that just accept it because I think they're good people that don't want to believe that actual evil has
Correct.
infected our industry.
Correct.
But
Correct.
anyways, to get it back to the
Yeah.
child
Yeah.
aggression thing, like that,
Yeah.
because that's what this is all about in the moment. This is the thing in the moment. That first classification of people and all of their followers will be happy to label anyone that has any problem with them, what they're doing, and the wholesale slaughter they're engaged in. You must hate kids. You hate the community. You're trying to get people killed. Well, that is a super convenient straw man. The only problem is that you don't show any training and you don't show any dogs. Why should anyone believe a single fucking word you have to believe about any of this? When the only thing that I've seen you ever post, and these people a lot of the times they delete these videos after the fact. I see them, and a lot of the times I screen record them, and sometimes my
Mhm.
followers do. Is you getting totally destroyed by just a pit bull, like a 45-pound pit bull that just wants to play, getting fucking annihilated. Like
Yeah.
you look worse than a dog owner getting destroyed by their puppy they just bought.
Yeah.
So I have there's no reason to believe anything these people say. When you look at the way they quote unquote evaluate these dogs for quote unquote child aggression or human aggression or any of this, the dogs are set up to do the thing that these people know they're going to do so that they have a convenient excuse to wipe their hands of the whole situation and say, I don't need to train this dog because he needs to be killed. And then I think also too, sort of another grim aspect of this, I think there's some amount of people working within shelters that are happy to hear that because that's one less dog, right?
Yeah.
And then the dog
Like
dies, and
unfortunately there is incentives like pressures and monetary like whatever social and financial incentives to not try to save dogs. Like
so here's the problem.
not
Here's
trying
the
to get
problem with
too
that.
into the logistics side of it, but yeah, anyway.
I hear you, and I definitely I've talked to people about this before, and I make sure I lay this claim. I am not trying to speak for the operational side of
No,
running a
correct,
kennel
correct. I'm
with
just saying like this is why it happens is because it
right.
like they want to believe not because again I think I agree with you. There's definitely like the evil people that are
So, but here's the
genuinely
problem.
the
Here's the
fucks. But then
problem
there's a
for
lot of like shelter coordinators and stuff that they're like, well, I just have to take the like a dog needs to go, and so it sort of might as well be this one. Like,
here's where they are sociopathic and uncaring lunatics. They have plenty of time and money to hire these freaks
yes, yes, yeah,
by the thousands of dollars,
yeah,
while oftentimes rejecting balance trainers who are
yeah. That
trying to
is true.
help for free.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So no, I'm not. I'm willing to acknowledge reality about, yeah, you're a small shelter with 40 out of
yeah.
40 kennels
There's
filled and you have to
definitely
make hard
cases where it's
decisions.
just ignorance, unfortunate ignorance.
Right, right.
But yeah, yeah.
So
But
like
there are
I will
definitely
tell
cases where
you,
it's willful
you,
ignorance. Yeah,
here's another one of these things where force-free people, shelter people, they want to tell you to not believe your own eyes, okay?
mhm.
And I will speak from experience. No, I don't have hidden cameras on me, but I think that I I've earned enough to be able to tell you something and you have reason to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I have on multiple occasions with dogs in really bad scenarios. I have gone to shelters basically begging, let me do something about this. Roadblock, 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 rejection.
Yep.
And that's ego segment. That's me, by the way.
Yeah.
Imagine it's just like a dog that's sort of in trouble, but it's not super serious, and you're just like a newish trainer looking to go help and get better at training. You have no chance. Me, right? Like I'm good at this. And they're saying, no, we don't want you because we saw you one time with a board and trained dog a year ago with a prong collar on.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone wants to say balance trainers aren't facing those roadblocks, and if anyone wants to say that these people wouldn't rather have dogs suffer and die than use tools, get fucked. You're a liar. Or you just haven't woken up, which is, that's a thing. That dude that like balanced, but like, no, actually, Denise Fenzi's coming from a good place, that loser. These people are so gay, dude. Like, people are sending me screenshots of unrelated things. People are talking about my training and how I'm terrible, blah, blah. And that guy's in the middle of the conversations. I actually like kind of like Dylan's training, but like his opinions on dog training generally are just terrible. And wouldn't you know it, this little cockroach is back in my DMs and my comment sections being like, Dylan, you should help this dog. I think you'd do a great
Wow.
And I made the mistake of saying this was a nice dude. I hate dog trainers so bad, man. Like I truly despise dog trainers.
It's so scummy.
It's just disgusting. We've allowed freak
Yeah.
shows to it's so bad. So anyways, and it sucks because the good people just don't talk because you get punished for talking.
Correct.
Correct. It's like, correct. So it's like the people listening to this, they probably don't talk a lot because you get fucking punished and you deal with freaks.
Correct.
Because Robert
it is
Cabral
actually
would rather
really
sit around
interesting. Talking to more dog trainers, like even in the past year with like people, connecting with TWC and just like talking to other people that are paying attention in the industry, and they have a lot of the same opinions, but I'll have this moment where I'm like, well, why haven't you said anything?
I haven't heard of you.
I'm like,
yeah,
oh yeah,
I haven't heard of you. Yeah. Yeah. And then again, like to circle it back to all the big time guys, they never make a true stance on anything. They never show anything. They never take a hard line. Yo, this is unacceptable. We've talked about this a million times. It is what it is. But the child aggression thing, that's my point. That's my point, is that, and there's also more considerations to placing dogs that you think may be child aggressive, which was in my story Q&A again that we can get into, because it's a fucking common sense thing. Just don't place the dog in a home with kids, you fucking psychos. Like, what are you talking about? Anyways, before I had my kids, I think I went like a fucking decade before directly interacting with toddlers.
No, dude, for real.
Like directly. I mean, you'd see like out in public and shit, like, but like over at my house.
I like try to find kids to just like get when I breed a litter of puppies or whatever. I'm like, can I find some toddlers? And I'm like,
so the idea that you think there's a 1% chance this dog might be weird with kids, and that's immediately disqualifying, doesn't make any fucking sense. Disqualifying to exist on Earth. That makes no sense. That's fucking ridiculous. It's a cop-out. You all know it's a fucking cop-out. And it's also these fucking losers, dude. Holy shit. So this setup, this so-called child aggression setup with the doll that they entice the dog with, and the dog is running after the doll from across the yard. Okay, let's say that we wanted to create avoidance around that doll, and you wanted to control the dog around the doll. How do you do that? You train the fucking dog, dude. You do dog training, but none of these fucking freaks train dogs. So the thought, like the concept of having control over a dog does not exist to them. So in their minds, if a dog has an innate desire to do something, they will just do it unopposed every single time with no conscience, no conflict, no resistance. If a dog chases cars, that's just what they do forever. And again, because they won't punish them. if a dog goes after a vaguely human-shaped doll or a dog-shaped stuffed animal, you
Yep.
can never have this dog around stuffed animals ever again, because he's just at the drop of a hat, no matter what, he's going to go after and he's going to kill it. That that speaks to this just total detachment from reality. You just train the fucking dogs. You don't even have to be like into behavior to accomplish this. You can just develop like
So
mechanical
basic.
control. This
We
is
could teach that in a fucking
rudimentary.
group class. Like I was
Correct.
shitting on group classes last episode. Like this is accomplishable. if it works.
Rudimentary. So, okay, there was a dog. We're going to get back to the main topic, but there was a dog in my workshop series named Phoenix, extremely dog aggressive pit bull in a shelter, right? And sort of my own personal desires, I'm kind of disappointed that the dog did not require follow-up training, because the shelter's run by people with functioning brains. They placed the dog at our request. The people that were working with the dog, the workers and myself, do not put this dog in any home that has other animals. They did that. The dog is great. By the way, there are kids in the house. The dog sleeps in bed with the fucking 7-year-old girl. Get fucked. But I would have loved to show, hey, this is a real threat. This dog is serious about attacking other dogs. If I could have had that dog in a board and train and shown her walking around town or through parks on leash with dogs around, that would have demonstrated the point we're talking about right now. Where even if you find that genetic variant, that freak, you can still control the fucking dog. You just train the dog, dude. And that is an extreme, tried and trusted, actually aggressive dog. That was not tested with a fucking, by playing fetch with a fucking stuffed animal. Like, this dog actually, like, attacks other dogs. Anyways, really quick snort. So that's my problem, okay? It's not that we should be out, and there's so much that I want to talk about this too, that I think you wanted to talk about with being realistic about situations that are not doable. Because I have a really good example that I haven't talked about, like a conversation I had with this guy one time, somewhat recently. But that's the problem. The dogs are set up. It almost looks like these tests are designed. It doesn't almost. It looks like these tests are designed by dog hunters.
Yeah.
By dog killers. Like, these are the things I would do to try. And by the way, too, this isn't even to say about to speak on the larger, more broad consequences where you are teaching shelter people to be afraid of dogs showing drive expression.
Correct.
You're horrifying them, dude. You're scaring the fuck out of them.
Yes.
Or dogs just like doing stuff.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck is, like, what do you God.
Yeah. No, I like wrote down, and I've made this comment to you before, that phrase of like, they hate dogs. Like, yes, just on the surface, true. But I think what is most interesting, I'm not sure that people like get from that phrase, is what they hate: the expression of a dog being a dog, and they hate good dogs. So like, the dogs that will chase a ball, the dogs that will possess a ball, the dogs that will jump on people to try to play with them, like, just dogs being dogs.
This is
they just
why
want dogs to lay there and do nothing. Like, they want a statue of a dog that happens to be somewhat animate. Like, that's it. That's all they want. And
that's why I've been so frustrated with sports people about this topic, and why I think it was such a landmark, potentially could prove to be a landmark moment, when I initially got Thinking Canine's death sentence video into the TWC sporting sphere, which then reached the broader sporting dog sphere, and people were like, that dog's awesome.
Yes.
You look at the grip. Look at the resilience. Like, the dog's being strangled and he will not drop the ball. Look at how there's food in front of him and he won't spit the ball out. That's sick. So, like, those qualities you're talking about, where you're like, well, no, that's actually a good dog. I'm telling you guys, I don't know if any of you need to be sold on this that are listening to the show already, but like, if you are into the working dog world, if you're into the sporting dog world, they would have all of your dogs killed.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Every last
Immediately.
one
Yep.
would be killed on the spot.
Yep.
Your dog that you take out and you do protection on Saturday morning, and then you take him over to grandma's house and he's flopped up on the couch, belly up, getting belly rubs from your grandpa, they would kill him and forget he ever existed. And then they would tell you to thank them for it.
And I
that
think
is what's happening.
I think there's certain sport dog people that are tuned into this, and I think there are some people that just like don't get it at all. But like the bigger picture, like you're seeing it happen in Europe with tool bans and them
Right.
attacking and trying to ban sports. Like they are trying to get rid of working dogs. They're trying to get rid of dogs that can do things. Because if you get rid of dogs that want to do things, then yeah, you don't need
You don't have to
tools.
train. You don't have to train. No, it's not just tools. You don't have
Yeah,
to train.
you don't need to train. Yeah.
You don't even need obedience.
Sit there and do
You
nothing.
don't need compliance. You don't need trust. You
Yes.
need nothing. You need absolutely nothing. So the dog in the shelter that grips a toy and is like, fuck yeah, let's go, that they're like, we need to kill this on the spot. If you look at a dog, like their personal dogs often are just these sort of like ditzy, food obsessed. I mean, they get programmed, they get brainwashed by these trainers, which is unfortunate. But these just like lame ass fucking dogs. And you just like, I wouldn't even like, I would want to play with you, see if I could resurrect you. But like, why would I don't want to be around a dog that's like lazily staring at my hands, appeasing me to get crackers to fall out. That fucking sucks. That's their idealized dog.
It is. It is.
That's perfect for them.
Yes.
And that's I think, what they love.
Following that train of logic of like they hate dogs, like that's the point I'm trying to make, is I don't think people understand where that logic flows to. It's not just the individual dogs that they are saying have to be euthanized because it's possessing a ball really well in a way that sport people would be like, oh my god, that's amazing. Like, yes, that's obviously problematic, but the outcome, the slippery slope is that, and it's happening, right, that the culture becomes the correct dog, the proper dog is a dog that doesn't do anything, and demonizing any dog that does show drive expression, emotional expression above a certain point like that. And then, like, again, like you said, then trading goes away because why do you need it for a lump anyway?
Right.
Yeah.
That is the end game.
Yep.
And those are the stakes, and we can't let it happen.
Like, I think like it does matter to you, even if you don't care about the individual dog or you don't have like the emotional capacity to care about them because it is overwhelming and depressing and too much. Like, it does matter to you if you love dogs and if you love good dogs, because that is the agenda, right? Like that's what I'm trying to say to like the people that don't get it, is it's not an isolated thing that will stop at shelters with people trying to like hashtag solve the overpopulation problem.
Right.
It's going to end up in tool bans. It's going to end up in breed bans. That's the whole point. Sport bans, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway.
Have you ever considered being nicer and calming down? Like, imagine being a so-called balanced trainer, hearing all of this and being like, but when I was going through a really rough time in my life, I watched Susan Garrett's stuff and like made me feel really happy. So like, why would you like I don't want to get the video unlisted, but like I hate you.
Yeah.
You know, I hate you and you're a traitor. So yeah, it is no mercy. We need to stand up for ourselves and stand up for the dogs.
And
it's
eventually
really
I want to segue into like solutions as well eventually, but I just want to touch back on.
The
Yeah, go ahead.
evaluation thing, the placing the
Yes. Yeah.
dogs, the
Yeah.
realistic. It doesn't even need to be shelters. Like this can actually just be a behavioral thing with pet dogs, and that's actually kind of what I wanted to get into. There was a specific conversation that I had with a guy, um, on the rare occasion that someone can actually tell I'm a dog trainer. Usually when I'm out with client dogs, it just looks like I'm a random fucking guy. Which is, by the way, I even said that a long time ago one time, and my instinct back then, before I was like really deep into the stuff and before I knew him, was that, oh, you're trying to be cool about being lazy, like your dog should be in command. And now I totally understand what that means, is that the dogs look so natural that they're not at work, dude. It's actually just a dog out having fun, which is the goal. It's the medicine and it's the goal. But that you DM'd me that you wanted to bookmark that question, or the prompt someone gave me, which was, have you run into dogs that were so behaviorally gone there was no chance at turning them around? Like it was just like why even try?
Yep.
So I am not psychotic and I understand limitations. So I will not say as a hardline fact that dog does not exist, because I am not the master of reality, because I'm a certified dog trainer. Holy fuck. I will say I have not seen that dog, where just on its behavior alone, I felt like, whoa, you can't. Now there was a dog, when I was at the TWC summit. I met this guy named Mitz, who's a really cool guy. He's a really good dog trainer. He does IGP, but he helps a local shelter and humane society, and animal control guys know him. And they dropped off a male at his house without telling him anything about it. And it turns out this male was just living as a feral dog for like some undisclosed period of time. And the dog ended up having to be put down, but the dog was so fucking, he was a trapped animal, they were trying to make exist in a home.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it had
It's
lost.
trying to domesticate a fox at that point, or coyote.
Correct. Like he's telling me stuff and like I'm getting chills. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
And he was kind of laying out. He's like, do you think anything could have been done? And I was like, dude, I don't. Again, I wasn't there, but like, I know what you can do, and the fact that you were running into that, I'm like, dude, like that's there was something he was trying to explain to me, because he doesn't primarily do like pet behavioral model. Like he's I think big time into IGP and all that. And I interrupted him because I was like, I know what you're trying to say. There was never a moment, and he had the dog, I think, for some time. They never had a link. So there's a distinct moment that happens, and the vast number of pet dogs give this to you immediately. Like you run into them out in public and they give it, where there is an acknowledgement of like,
yep, there's some social drive.
Right. You are a social, emotional being. Yes. With which I can interact with on that plane, on a higher plane than I'm a mammal, you're a mammal.
Correct.
And we both have.
We're seeking connection, right, and agreement and cohesion. Right. Yep.
Correct. And then from there, you would move into cooperation and trust and all those types of things. But like that at the very beginning, like with most pet dogs, you just get it immediately. Then when you get into the more like on the sliding scale of behavioral case dogs, you could have like the next step would be a nice pet dog that's not capable of doing any harm, but doesn't trust people initially, right? Then that requires some work. And then you start sliding closer and closer to the dogs that I like working with, where that sense of linking with a person has either been extremely dulled, or the dog believes it's the wrong thing to do and has convinced himself to not do it. Or he's been convinced by his environment it's not a desirable thing to link. But eventually, through doing what we do, there are moments that stand out.
It's in them once you uncover it.
Right.
It'll happen.
Where the dog, and I'll be like, you're going to be okay. Like, I know the way you just looked at me when we were about to go outside, I can tell you're like, we're going to figure this out. Like you're here. that dog always looked at him like just another faceless animal. Like, you're just another faceless animal that has his own schemes. And I need to work against you to subvert that and push my own agenda. And unfortunately, this dog would attack. So that, and it's a male. So like they are strong. Like, I don't have to tell you. So that is a scenario where the behavior very well could actually be too far gone. Again, as an experiment, say I lived by myself in a fucking shack and, I had some crazy rich person funding this endeavor. I would love to live with that dog for like a year.
Yeah.
And I would just wear bike gear 24 hours a day. I would just like, fuck it. And try to get,
because you could theoretically tame that animal, like,
right. That's what I would want to see.
Yeah.
I would want to see as an experiment how far
you can tame a fox
towards a pet animal could I get you, or would it be like a Siegfried and Roy scenario where I can make you do little tricks, but then one day you're in a bad mood and you turn around and you fucking like send me flying across the building.
Right.
So that is an example, but again, these behaviorists want you to think that these dogs are everywhere. It is in their best interest, based on their bloodthirst and promoting their own reputation as these people that are out there with these crazy dogs. I had to talk to another guy that I'm pretty sure is on the other side of the country to hear a story about one of these dogs.
Yeah.
All right. So, whatever.
Yep.
So I'm sure they exist. I have not seen it myself. However, I think the more interesting and useful topic that's more readily occurring is the way that I put it, I think, was a dog whose behavior interacting with their environment makes them unsavable. That is something that does happen, that I have had happen, that I've encountered, that I've talked to other trainers about. They've had it happen. And it actually, like, when we were firing up the podcast, I was like, okay, what dog, like, what scenario is Remy barking? Yeah. What scenario do I want to talk about? And there's actually like a really, really good one. And this wasn't, I could think of a dog, like, for me that I did a consultation with, but this story is like the perfect example of, like, I told the guy, like, what are you doing? Like, I said, okay. So I had a guy approach me at a park in the summer. I was with Ollie, actually. So was that, I don't remember, but I was with Ollie. And Ollie didn't attack the guy because I modified his behavior. Whatever. The guy comes up and he starts telling me, he's like, yeah, my sister and I, we're living with our mother and we're doing end of life care for her. And we don't know how much longer she has, right? Like, she's going to be moving in soon. And it could be 6 months, it could be a year, it could be 2 years. We don't know exactly what it is, right? My sister has a German Shepherd who is like 4 or 5 years old or whatever. And this dog attacks anybody that comes onto the property that is not the owner or this guy, her brother. Even then, with the brother, he will test him. He'll fuck with him. And he'll put him in situations where the guy has to sort of like back off and concede to the dog. You know what I'm talking about? Like, he'll just start these random standups. Like, are you sure you want to walk through the kitchen right now?
Yep.
And the guy will be like, I guess I'll come back later, right? So it's like that type of scenario with this dog, right? And the dog has fucking a bajillion bites. Like, he's actually just a fucking lunatic, right? And they have their elderly mom coming to move in. And it's the end of her life.
Yeah.
And it gets worse. So I'm like, okay, hey dude, like, hey, this already is not a training situation. Yeah. Like, if the dog's going to live, he actually just has to be kenneled.
Yes. Yeah.
Every waking moment that this woman is out about the house.
Like, because she also probably have caretakers and
right.
nurses.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a nurse that's going to be coming in, but it gets worse. It gets worse.
Yeah.
So the guy's like, yeah, and I mean her memory kind of is spotty, and I could easily see her wandering into his room and unlatching the crate. And I'm like, that's where I was like, dude, like what? And he was pretty was like, we need to get rid of the dog. And he was like, my sister's being, and I was like, dude, listen, like I'm not in your family. I'm not even talking to you as a dog trainer right now.
Right. Right.
I
This
would physically grab my sister by her face and be like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
I would pull up a picture of I didn't say this part. I would pull up a picture of our mom and be like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? This dog is dead. I'm not even blinking. This dog is fucking dead.
Like you've basically got two options. Or
rehome. Or like, do you have the mythological fantasy land where we can take time to move him in with a friend that lives in a fucking barn on the edge of town, and you can keep the dog for a year and then I get him back. Like that's also totally few. But
you basically have two options: put your mom in a nursing home or keep the dog.
Correct. That is not a behavioral rehabilitation pet training scenario.
No.
That is insane. Right.
That is a simple risk analysis and
right.
Yeah.
Now if you say to me, Dylan, I live with my sister and she has this dog and he's a fucking asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And he bites people coming in the door. And that's the end of it.
Correct.
Very well. Let's train. That's the type of thing I love. It's like, how far can we push that? How far can we push that before we need to institute some management, blah, blah, blah? How much freedom can we give? What can we make the quality of life? How much of the safety can we maximize? Can we expand the dog's social circle? Can we get you a high level of control over him? Blah, blah, blah. All these fulfillment, all of the good things like that. That is super cool. And I love those types of dogs. It is very much, it's probably much more likely than not, I would love that dog. I'd go in with gear. He would go off on me. Over time, whether we did a board and trainer lessons, we'd get to know each other and we would be laying in the grass playing. Like that would be, I do this all the time, right? But I am telling you, it's not the dog's behavior necessarily that makes this disqualifying. It's the way the behavior interacts with the situation, right? That is the much more common problem. You know what I'm saying? And to loop it back to like, we don't even need to loop this back. Do I want to? I don't want to get on the weeds on this, but again, talking about the way that a lot of these behaviorists evaluate dogs, they'll look at how a dog reacts on the leash and be like, oh, well, there's no hope. It's like, okay, what is the dog reacting on leash to? Other dogs. It's like, do we know the dog's actually aggressive? Well, no, we don't let him interact. Okay. Have you trained the dog to walk on leash? No. Okay, then why? You haven't even tried anything yet. And by the way, in this scenario, there's no other dogs in the house, right? Like that is where it's like, you're treating that dog in that situation like it's an undoable, crazy thing when it's literally like the most basic, common pet training setup in history. That is, and you were talking earlier about the way that a dog may appear to react to another dog or to children or whatever. You know who I was thinking of? Remy.
Yep.
Remy. So as she continues to improve, and by the way, it's almost like the last 7 days have been like night and day change in her. As she improves, the actual problem become more obvious because her general psychosis level has dropped probably like 70, 80+%. So now the things that, holy shit, did we just lose Kim? No, she's okay. All right. The things that actually cause her problems are much more, because off of her baseline, they cause a bigger wave. Whereas before it was just blah.
Yeah, you couldn't separate the noise from the signal.
Now it's like da 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 da, blah. And I can be like, oh, that's it. Kids make her really go into like that excitement arousal state. She goes to the end of the leash. With her chest out, posturing. She freezes up, she fixates, and she starts vocalizing. And you know what I do? The kids look over at me. Can we say hi to your dog?
Yep.
Yeah, do me a favor. Come over here and kind of like bend down like you're trying to say hi. I recall her. She doesn't listen. Bang. Oh, comes back. I get that acknowledgement. And then I release her to go say hi to the kids, and she's all over them having a great time.
Yep.
That
Yep.
that behavior, I'm telling you, that behavior, and it's sort of poetic in a way that I used Remy in that video with the doll. If you put Remy in a kennel and then put kids on the other side, she would do that. If you took her out to the yard and you started running around with a doll in your hands, she would bite it. And she's one of the best dogs I've ever met in my entire life. That naps on the couch with my 2 and 4-year-old sons. That plays possession with them and listens to their verbal commands. Okay. That greets random strange children. Strange children's a funny way to put it. Strangers' children out in public.
Yes.
We just meet the strangest children out there. But yeah, that her behavior in the kennel when she's repressed, under socialized,
horrific. Yeah.
It would look horrific to them.
Correct.
To me, we haven't even started. We haven't even fucking started.
Yeah.
We haven't even fucking. I don't know who you are. I don't know anything about you.
Mm-hmm.
So that, to circle it back to that really quick, and before we get back to the behavioral euthanasia thing, that's the whole point. Anyways, the behavioral euthanasia thing actually is interesting in a way, because the phrase behavioral euthanasia, though it is accurate, it doesn't best describe actually what's going on. It's like, I don't even know how I would put it.
I mean, it's a quality of life decision at the end of the day. Like, it is,
but it's based, it's
the dog and of the humans based on a risk assessment.
Yes.
And the interaction between the dogs, we'll even call it temperament at this point, but the dog's current repertoire of behaviors and likely choices. It's that interacting with the environment and your level of skill of the owner, management training skills, but then also their willingness to put in the work to do that, their financial situation to be able to have the resources to do that. Like, so many layers of complexity to it. I forget who it was, but someone recently was talking about, like, it's the same as a health decision. Like, how is this dog's quality of life? Can you afford, like, let's say the dog has a theoretically manageable disease, but it costs $10,000 to get it its medicine. Are you able to do that? Theoretically, someone out there wouldn't have to euthanize that dog because they have $10K disposable income every month, but you probably don't. So quality of life, if the dog is suffering without that medicine, you have to euthanize it. And it's like, those are like that. The behavioral euthanasia considerations map onto that much, much more closely than putting it in this separate category of just looking at the dog and passing judgment on the dog in a vacuum and saying, like, what are the possibilities?
It puts that phrase behavioral
euthanasia. You can't make a decision based on that. Yeah.
It puts the entire onus of everything on the dog.
The dog. Yes.
When it actually could just be that
on the people, which is fine.
We live on Earth, and sometimes it's cruel.
Correct.
Right. Like, sometimes bad things just happen.
Life sucks.
Sometimes it's bad and it's really upsetting.
You have to make shitty decisions.
So here's an example, okay, of something that just happened 2 days ago. So initially I was going to be going to the shelter another day, and they called me and they were like, can you come in like way sooner than that? I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going on? And a dog that they had before, but I never met because he was causing no problems. They had him for a few weeks. He's a pretty big pit bull. He's probably like 65, 70 pounds. Like, he's fucking yoked up. But he's never caused any problems. Been totally cool at the shelter. And I don't get called about the cool dogs. To be honest with you, I'm not super interested in the cool dogs. I like to say hi and stuff. They'll bring, oh, look at,
Yeah.
look at Dinky and how he has a lazy eye.
Yeah.
Like, I'll fuck with him. But then I'm like, okay, who needs me? Um, but the dog got adopted and got bounced back because he attacked somebody and it was like pretty bad. Um, and I'm having a phone call arranged where I'm going to be able to sit down with a couple of the shelter people and talk to the people again, because actually the dude wants the dog back.
Interesting.
But with we'll get into the scenario, but
Yeah.
the because this guy's probably the dog's only hope, but this ties back into the whole behavioral euthanasia thing. So the story is that the dog's just chilling in the house, lady's doing dishes, and out of nowhere he just like locked onto her, jumped up and bit her like under her arm, like on her back, and he got shoved off and supposedly was like posturing like he was coming back, which is a really bad sign.
Yeah.
Really, really bad. So
Yeah.
they called me in for him, and we always do like a pregame conversation before dogs
Mhm.
get brought out. So I'm talking to everybody, and I'm like, well, guys, like, to be honest with you here, the shit you're explaining is like, if it's true, which we have no reason to believe these people are lying, that is like the worst possible thing you could hear. That the dog didn't immediately go into some sort of like remorse, like he showed like persistence and resilience and was like, no, like I mean it, like I'm going for it.
He made the decision to stick with that behavior.
Yeah. And even if you say that, or maybe he like blacked out, and it's like, well, in that case, yeah, that dog
If
shouldn't
it's
be
not
going to a
persistent,
fucking
then yeah.
home. Yeah, like that
Mhm.
doesn't help. Like it's an explainer, but it's not. That doesn't really benefit. Like you're not going to go to someone, hey, we got this great dog here. Don't
But he'll
worry.
just black bust him down.
If he goes off on you when you're tying his shoes, he didn't mean it. He was just blacking out. Like that
Right,
doesn't fucking
right.
help anybody.
It's the same as like, oh,
Um,
he was just scared. Well, he's still
that
fucking
doesn't
tore you up.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
on the behavioral end, that could be interesting to know. But it's like
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
we live in the real
But
world. You know what I
just
mean?
the outcome.
And
Yes.
this is also why, unrelated, but I just wanted a brief mention. I realized why I have such an affinity for shelter people. It's because they live in the total opposite world of dog trainers. Dog trainers live in the hypothetical world and the false morality world and the self-righteousness world and the moral superiority world. Shelter people live in the real world.
They
They
don't have
are
the privilege of
really there.
hypotheticals. Yep.
They are really there with the dogs in front of them, and they're like, now what do we do? And they have to do actual fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? They're actually, I'm gonna start screaming. Um, I hate dog trainers like more every day. Anyways, so this dog, I'm like, okay, guys, like before even meeting him, this is just I'm laying out sort of like my take on that type of attack. So like the nature of that is really bad. The guy is like, no, dude, I love this dog. I want him back. Like, okay,
Amazing.
but he phrased it in a way like, can you do anything? Like, do you think you could do anything to move him on the behavioral end?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. He's like, I love it. This is before I even meet the dog. Like, it's more likely than not, this guy is the only chance this dog has to live.
Yeah.
And even then, like, they're likely going to have to be serious overhauls and how, hey, Rab, come on, serious overhauls and how they live with the dog and the setups and everything. And like, you basically like, you need my help. Like, there's no way you can just fucking send that dog back after a 10-day hold and be like, let's try again. Like, no fucking way, dude. Oh, she's so cute. She's so
Remy.
so they bring the dog out. They bring the dog out, and he's amazing. It's an amazing dog.
Yeah.
I'm like rolling around in the snow with him, on my hands and knees, like face to face, like just personal play, wrestling, like really interacting with him. You know what I mean? And I don't start with this, okay? So like, again, getting into evaluations and trying to give the dog a fair shot. We go for a walk, we get to know each other a little bit. Then we start to,
Yeah.
he's interacting with me, I'm reciprocating, and then I'm allowing him to show me who he is versus we put him in a pen and I take a wooden rod and I start fucking poking him to see if he growls.
Yeah.
So like that dog and I, to evaluate him, we become friends. That is what I do. Okay. Taking advantage of the fact that at the beginning I'm a total stranger. And yes, absolutely along the way, finding spots where I can touch, literally in some cases, touch something. And, so I start asking for him to sit and I'm making him do it. And there are clear moments where I saw if he were to attack me, it would happen right now.
Interesting.
And he didn't do it. He didn't even think
Huh.
about doing it. Just like, okay. Put him on a back tie, tried getting him to play. He had some weird inhibition around biting, though you could tell he wanted to. So it's likely he got in serious trouble for playing before or like holding objects. It's possible. But we could crack him on play, but which would be
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
important. But this is to say that this dog's like I just like this dog's fucking awesome. Like I have no like I wouldn't
There's no red flags. Yeah.
if I had him up in my living room right now, I wouldn't have gear on. I wouldn't
Right.
even fucking think about it. Wouldn't even
Right.
be like a thought. So that doesn't. So the behavior to me looks and feels really nice, but with what we know happened, in concert with the fact that this dog has to be placed in a home, that could be a totally disqualifying situation. So if the dog dies, it's not just on the behavior,
Mhm.
it's on the situation.
Mhm.
Let's say that this guy had this dog for like a year and was like, this is fucking crazy. We've never seen him do some shit like this, but I'm super dedicated. I'm keeping this dog no matter what. We're going to make it work. I'll do everything you tell me to do. Fuck it. Let's train. Let's train. And does the woman that he went after, does she consent to this? She's even more intense about this than I am. Then fuck it. Let's go.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? Sign the contract, but let's go.
Yeah.
But that's not what this is,
Yeah.
So that
What do you think did happen? Just because I'm curious. What do you think did provoke that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's super weird.
I have to imagine that obviously, I don't have to see the problem to fix the problem. So dog owners, when they report these types of events,
Yeah.
they have about 40%, 30% of what you're getting is the full picture, and even half of that isn't accurate. So you have no fucking idea, dude.
Yeah.
Like I know
he
that
might have jumped up and play bit, and then she pushed him
and
off.
she
and he was
pushed
like,
him
"Sweet,
off,
we're
and it
wrestling."
snapped.
Yeah.
It could be so
And
many.
she just misinterpreted. Yeah. Yeah.
It could be
Yeah.
that. It could be that. Man, I've heard some crazy shit from people when you poke and prod, and I'm not. By the way, this is not victim blaming. I'm not saying anyone deserves to be bitten like that, but it's just
Yeah.
I'm more so speaking to that training methodology of like people that laugh at me for using gear and stuff.
Mhm.
It's like, you guys are actually just stupid as fuck. Like, you're actually just like really dumb, because you're listening to a story
Mhm.
that someone's
From
telling
an
you
unskilled eye. Yeah. Yeah.
from an unskilled eye of the person that hired you to tell them what's going on.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So this is the
They know
equivalent.
enough to seek out help because they don't
Right.
know what's going on.
I'm just going to show up at a doctor and be like, my foot's broken. How do you know? Well, it kind of hurts. Oh, I heard it. Well, the doctor goes, yeah, that checks out. If a foot hurts, when people break their feet, it does hurt. So yeah, we're going to put you in a cast. That is actually what trainers are doing. And they're like standing beside that and going, no, I love that. And you break this down for them and they get mad. It's fucking insane. Anyways,
Yeah.
So I have no idea what happened, but ultimately it may just not matter at all. Because if we can't get answers, that dog can't. You can't just send him home like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they like we're gonna move forward and try. And I'm really gonna give this dog as many chances as possible and see what happens. Because you do get people that I mean I placed Max and Win, and they both did horrible things to people. Horrible things. Terrible things to people. There are owners that are like, no, I believe in what you've accomplished with this dog and I'm willing to take this on. Even if there are considerations, management and things like that. Like those owners actually they do exist, and I don't know if this is personal bias, ego segment, because I'm really good at training dogs. Um, so people just kind of they believe more in the dogs if the training is good, obviously, and they see, and again, people believe what they see and they believe what they feel. So, people are watching Max's entire program. So then when that lady's like, "No, I want to take this dog," it's like, I know what you did with him, right? Same with Win. Um, So people do like dogs like this, and they do adopt dogs like this.
Yeah.
It's not as rare as you would think, but it is still rare.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
unfortunately, and you said something at the very beginning of the topic that triggered a thought in my head. I can't remember exactly what prompted it. Oh, you said like what makes you decide. Well, like what are the major determining factors whether or not you'll try versus saying this isn't worth it?
Mhm.
So the one we covered, like with the extreme example of the lady, like with dementia that's dying,
Yeah.
that you shouldn't have her around a human
The
aggressive
risk is
German
just way
Shepherd.
too high.
It's
Yeah.
such a fucking ridiculous risk that it's like, what are we even talking about? That's kind of
Yeah.
like the first
It's a
thing,
given that the bomb is going to go off. What are you doing?
dude.
Yeah.
And the results will not be
No.
a little oopsie daisy.
No.
It will be
Yeah.
a fucking
Yes.
horror movie, right?
Yes. Yes.
So that's one obvious big glaring thing. The other thing,
Yeah.
the other major thing, who is assuming the risk? If I can take all of the risk, I'm like, yeah, of course, let's do it. That's what the job is supposed to be, dude. Like that, if you're gonna be in this, you are opening up the chance that something bad is going to happen to you. So I can't help but get mad when I talk about this type of stuff. I've been training dogs for 30 years and I've only been bitten once. Well, then you're a fucking pussy. Congrats. Unless you're just like an obedience trainer, totally cool, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
If you're staying in your lanes, it's totally fine. But yeah, if
totally
you're
cool.
going into rehab,
And I
aggressive
genuinely
dogs,
mean
like,
that. I genuinely mean that, by the way.
yes.
I'm not
Yes.
trying to
Yeah.
attack.
No, it's a huge need. Yeah. Yeah.
For sure. And I like, if you're not getting bit because you're not dealing with dogs that bite, cool. But
Fine.
you
Yeah.
shouldn't be pointing that out because it's worthless at that point. It's like whatever. That'd be
Yeah.
like me
Like,
saying,
oh, I do trail
I've
rides
never
with ponies. I've never gotten kicked by a horse. It's like, all right,
right.
cool.
I've
Like,
never
whatever.
had a dog fail out of get DQ'd during the protection routine. It's like, yeah, I've never fucking done it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So but when you get people that are like, well, I'm an extreme aggressive rehabilitationist, I've never been bitten. Well, then again, you're a fucking coward. You're a pussy.
Mhm.
You're not actually in there with the dogs doing anything. So and your whole program is based around restricting his choices, which keeps them from getting better.
Mhm.
So if I've got a dog at a shelter, this is getting back to another dog that was euthanized. I've talked about him before, and he's a dog that I wish I would have met before the shelter workshop to show a failure state,
Yeah.
like a clear failure state. And I wish I had like recordings of the eval with him, like the whole thing. I would have played, if we had the time, I would have played the entire like if we could have had a half hour of footage, because it just to show people truly what a dangerous, savage dog actually looks like. And even then, you can't unless you're there feeling it. Like there's a
Yeah.
different. I'm not like spiritual and all that, but there's a presence. There's like a
Oh,
feeling.
for sure. For sure.
And you're
There's
the
a
one that
certain
asked
level
me.
of animal instinct that we have that
Correct.
you just know. Yeah.
That kept us alive. That made us.
Yeah.
It's a reason why we slept. Our ancestors slept in trees. right? It's like these types of animals that I really, with that dog, I gave him every out, like 10 times over.
Yeah. Was this like a tan pit bull? Did you send me this one?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
I talked to you about him, and you were the one that was like, do you think he saw you as prey?
Right.
And I
Yeah.
was
Okay.
like, yeah,
Yep.
he did.
Yep. Yep.
But that dog, when I was evaluating him, the whole time in my head, I'm like, dude, please, like, do do anything else, please. And he just would not. Ruthless on a level where I'm like, okay, I'm talking to the shelter staff, and they're base as fuck, and they're like, dude, like, what can we do? What can we do? I'm like, guys, like, if I could pull a sleeping bag into the shelter and just be here and do everything that I could, I would do it. Like, I truly wish that could happen.
Mhm.
But I cannot guarantee to you that one morning the lights are kind of dim, he doesn't recognize you, and you go to take him out, he could fucking kill you. Like, it won't be normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
And it was a dog who was committed to damage if he
like,
starts.
this is
Yeah.
I am going to hurt you. I don't
Yes.
want you walking away. Come back.
Correct. It wasn't a, hey, I'm scared, I'm going to give you a little cheap shot. It was.
I tell her during the I tell the girl that was good with him during the evaluation, go take him for a walk and let him, see that there's another way to be in this situation. And he was visibly disappointed. I hope you're here when I come back. Like, crazy, scary, chilling. And I told them, I was like, guys, like, I seriously, like, I love your attitude. I respect you more than I do most dog trainers I interact with. But I'm telling you, I cannot in good conscience sign off. I'm not going to make a decision for you. He's not my dog, right? I did not say put him down immediately, because it's not my place. I also did not say we need to go out to save him. It's not my place. I will go which way you think is appropriate, but this is just,
I'm giving you the information.
Giving you the information here that
Yep.
I cannot promise you this dog will not seriously harm one of you out of nowhere.
And back to the risk, who's assuming risk, if we can keep it to people that are only people that are consenting to that risk, then all day long, like, you can take on wildly dangerous dogs, completely ethical, no problem. But with a dog like that, where it becomes actually problematic, is you are putting risk on if this dog gets out of a fence in a new home or whatever it is, right? These like just kind of crazy, but they happen situations. It's somebody who's completely not aware of the risk that they're taking by just going for a walk, right? Like that. It's like drunk driving level of like, hey, you're just being negligent at that point.
Yep.
And that's where it's like, okay,
that is the dog.
Now
that
there's
is the
dog
line. Thinking canine, when she walks through a shelter, she sees that every in every fucking kennel.
Yes.
Every kennel, that dog is behind the fence. Every dog that jumps up and says, can we go do something, is that dog in her fucked up, rotted brain. That's genuinely like, and she loves that. That's the part. It's not just ignorance; it's enjoyment. Like, listen, like, this will come up again. I'm not done with her, but this is a different type of dog. Who, like I said earlier, when we were talking about like the German Shepherd. It's like, is it possible that, say he was in a home with a dude that like these two are tight, but he's like, I want to try introducing him to a couple people. Like, I want to be able to take him outside and not worry about him bolting after a bicycle and fucking someone up. That is now, hey, let's take this as far as we can. Let's see if something can be done. I love that, because I know that, like you said, the consent, the guy is signing up for it. The dog already has a home he goes back to. We have a bad day of training, not the end of the world. You get to go home with dad. And ultimately, when I'm getting to know you and I'm developing the rapport and I'm trying to teach you some baseline skills, I'm the one taking the physical damage. That is a totally fair agreement for me. But when I'm looking at a 19-year-old girl who just loves dogs, I'm not doing that to you. I'm not going to jump up and down and say, let's do it, guys. Like, no, I'm not. I can't. Like, I can't.
Yep.
So
And
yeah,
just
but
as like to kind of point out to like the difference between that dog and Ollie, just for some like concrete, like how are you doing your evaluations kind of thing. Ollie had moments where he was like, I do not want to be making this decision to bite. Like you could see that he was conflicted in his use of that aggression. And as soon as you're like, hey, there's another way to interact with people that actually is enjoyable and more comfortable for all of us, he's like, sweet, I'll grab onto that. And that becomes the new habit, no problem. There wasn't actually like kind of what I was trying to say before, like Ollie didn't actually look at humans like a squirrel where he's like, oh, you just need to die. He was like, I do not know how to interact with you. And therefore there's all this kind of like emotional turmoil that's coming out in aggression. But that the shelter dog that you were just talking about, he kept coming back. Like that was like, oh, there's actually some self-reinforcement in like a very positive like beyond the self-reinforcement of like, oh, this is a solution to keep myself safe. It was like, this is fun for me. And that's a very different a different risk that you're then taking with that type of dog.
it's
Because again, I think people can look at those two things on the surface and be like, oh, but Win or Ollie or any
yeah,
of these dogs,
yeah.
they did damage. Like Win bruised you through the bite suit or whatever. Like surface level, the outcome of the interaction was, if not worse with Win, at least the same with that pit
Oh
bull.
yeah.
Like he wasn't, it didn't look like, if I'm remembering right, he wasn't even like biting that hard.
And Win, by the
But
way,
it was, yeah,
we did private lessons before to try to resolve
right.
things, and she attacked me, I think,
Consistently.
increasingly strong
Yes.
lesson to lesson.
Yes. Yep.
To be clear.
Yep.
This dog, I sent you the quick,
But it's kind of what you were talking before with like, does the dog give you an opening to say, hey, I'm trying to connect with you and
right.
I'm open to change?
Yeah,
The shelter dog was not open to suggestion.
No.
It was like, this is
so
what I do. It feels good. I'm not.
yeah. I mean, with Ollie, well, with Win, like to go to Win,
Yeah.
merely putting her in scenarios where she had to view me as a partner and a caregiver, that was enough to totally upend her perception of humans. To sort of like crack the egg, so to speak, like to get in and be like, okay, it can go a different way, and maybe like I'm actually cool with pursuing
There's a lot of
like
plasticity there. Yeah.
Right. And this is all happening within a program that maximizes the dog's ability to choose.
Yep.
Contrary to what some very interesting individuals will say about my programming, I am probably the number one vocal proponent against using obedience to mask behavioral issues. Like that's actually my life. Like that actually runs in my veins. My entire point of my program is almost anti-obedience.
Yep.
I use the obedience so that I don't have to. That's like actually how much.
Correct.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's fucking stupid. People are just horrible.
It's a whole other topic. But
people are horrible. People are really bad.
The video.
Like, people are really, really bad. Like they're terrible. Dog trainers are really bad. So but with Win, like that was enough to change the perception and giving her outs. And like with Ollie too, that, like you said, showing other options. So with Ollie, hands off, the aggression decreased 80-90%. Like with me doing nothing other than establishing beforehand the rapport and the trust so that he feels safe enough mentally and emotionally to take risks and try other things, and then putting him in the scenario and letting it play, and clearly demonstrating to him that he's not under mechanical control. I could call you off at any point, like if things went south, if I needed to, but that's not the name of the game right now is not we're going out and we're doing drills. It's that we're going out and we're existing, and I have options, right? So, and then on the back end, punishment plays a huge role as well. But that the bulk of it was done hands off, right? So with that shelter dog, it's devastating to me, dude. It really fucks me up because like I'm watching him do this to me, and I'm like, dude, please, like anything but this one fucking thing. So we're teaching him how to play. We're running around in the woods. We're taking, the girl's taking him out on walks. He's doing this and that, and we're throwing treats over there, and like he will not quit. It's like that, and that's another. No, we don't have to. Yeah, we shouldn't. I would say trust your innate moral instincts. If it looks like someone enjoys killing dogs, it's because they do. And people that care about dogs, when that has to happen, it's not just that it's not a gleeful, smug time. It hurts. Like
it's a heavy decision.
It hurts, like for real.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that is the type of dog that should be caught in the net. That is the type of dog, if I have a button right here, I can click to a 100% accuracy and make all of them cease to exist. I would do it. And that it's horrible, it sucks, but we're grappling with reality and human safety.
Correct.
But the net has been cast so outrageously wide. Again, to just bring it home before we can move on to something else, or if you have another branch on this you want to pursue. The net is about 1,000 times too big. And nobody hit me with any bullshit about shelters just don't have the money. Again, you have the money to hand to these grim reapers to come in and do this while you are rejecting people offering help for free. I don't want to hear it. Until I never hear again a balance trainer get turned away, I don't want to hear a fucking word on that. So anyways, that's the whole deal.
Yeah.
I am not.
And I think just to like, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, I hope it's obvious that we are not pro child violence. That's not. And to your point about consent, that actually outside of just like the base human instinct of like, I want to protect children cannot consent. That is one half is on a pure moral level. Children being harmed is just bad. Right. Yes. And then the other half is no child can say, I want to. Either one of those things is disqualified. Together, it becomes a non-starter. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Putting risk on a child is just
not going to happen. Not going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, full stop. Yeah. So just to kind of like tie a bow on it, I think the point is thorough evaluations are not being done. So it's not that we cannot make utilitarian decisions about quality of life and therefore euthanasia of dogs with behavioral issues, with the variables of lack of resources, lack of, time, finances, expertise, whatever. That is a stark reality. But to say that before you have done a thorough evaluation is dishonest. And that's not how it should be done. Right? Like that's the whole point, is back to the evaluation. That's the most important part. If after the evaluation you see things, and it might not even be that bad, right? It might be that the dog, let's take Remy as an example, right? She's a horrible play biter. She has all these issues. She's a nightmare with potty training. On the surface, a difficult dog to keep. Let's say happens to be at a shelter where they're just stretched super thin and they're like, we can't find a home for this dog. We can only hold her for a couple weeks, whatever it is. Like that could be a legitimate quality of life decision for Remy to go, hey, I'm sorry, but you were sort of born into this very unfortunate circumstance, and we just can't.
That's where
Can't
she was.
do
That's
it.
where she was. She was pulled
Yeah.
off of death. She was pulled off of
Oh
death row
yeah,
in the
because she was
Bronx.
from a
Yeah.
rescue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah,
Exactly to your
luckily
point.
a rescue found her. Yeah, but like I wouldn't even fault a shelter for making that decision, because that, again, that's the unfortunate reality of the dog situation in America or whatever, right? Like that's just life. But that has to be a thought out decision at some level. There has to be logic to
Yeah.
it. It can't just be like, hey, this dog is holding a ball really tight. We could theoretically find a trainer. We have the resources to work on stuff, but we're just gonna blanket say, hey, nope, this is a problem that we cannot fix,
That,
but also responsibility on the dog, and then kill him. That's the
but
problem.
that's one too where like I know it's more near and dear to you too about like gripping behaviors, like
Yeah.
and
No, I think I DM'd you
possession.
this. I was like, that's probably the safest dog
Correct.
with resources, because all it wants to
It
do is
won't
keep
let
its mouth
go.
on the ball. It won't let go. It won't
Um,
let go to bite you.
the
So
training, like the
it's
training
ridiculous.
that's failing to get him to drop is actually
Actually
unintentionally
helping.
a great
Yes.
resource guarding evaluation.
Yes.
No matter
yes.
what we do to the
Yes.
dog, he will not spit the thing out
He
to
will
bite
not
me.
bite you.
He will not. Like under any
Phenomenal.
circumstance, we literally can't do anything to get him to do
Yes.
it, right?
You're actually teaching him to grip harder, which is
Correct.
fine.
Correct.
It's definitely not biting you.
And that like with that specific dog and like that scenario, like with the like it is all, unfortunately, we're viewing out of context clips that are being deliberately posted with the intention of like maliciously attacking people, because that's the MO of Thinking Canine, is literally just, I'm going to take a clip of something and try to ruin your reputation.
Yeah.
So we can't 100%.
Again,
but
extrapolating from holding a ball to mauling children is not
right.
a thorough evaluation. It is
That's an entire
like,
entire
that's the
other
problem.
hour.
That's the
the
problem.
entire
Yeah.
other hour on the pod.
Yep.
Is that the leap, and like dog trainers signing off being like, of course.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
You
again, even if you had showed me a video of that dog coming off the ball and fucking nailing that trainer, he's got gloves on and whatever, like I would go like, okay, like that's a reasonable evaluation. You're showing me that he's willing to bite, whatever, over a resource.
Right.
It's just not the same.
It's not even close. And even then I would be like,
Yeah.
let's train. That's fun. That's
correct. Like, what do we have available logistically?
That
if we
is
genuinely
Neptune.
don't, okay.
That is the Neptune case.
Yes, it's blue.
Okay?
That's yes.
From the shelter workshop. That's and it's on my Patreon. Shout out to the Patreon.
Yep.
But that I'll actually send you the link after this if you're interested in watching.
Yeah.
I know you just love my shit. But that is a dog that when you go, hey buddy, give me that bite pillow.
Yep.
And you get down next to him, he would spit it out and come up the leash.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And that dog was trained with minimal effort, and he's just home. Yep. And he takes mom really seriously, and they have zero whatever. But that is the, and just all the dog trainers being like, yeah, this dog's too far gone. It's like, he's holding a ball.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
It kills
Holy
me.
shit!
I just can't even fathom.
I can't. And by the way, this might be a little bit of a tipping my hand a little bit.
Yeah.
I talked to the shelter behavioral head of that dog's department.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking to her and I'm like, okay, so what's the problem? Oh, well, there's some aggression. There's a little bit of aggression. Like, okay, well, what? Like, has he bitten anybody? No. Like, okay, so quick eye roll. But then it's like, yeah, sometimes when he's got his toy, like he'll like growl while he's chewing it or holding it.
Yeah. That's not aggression. Yeah. Yep.
All three of my dogs dead.
1,000%. Yep.
All of them.
Immediately.
This was actually a huge, the intro to the cases in my workshop segment was one of my best friend's dogs, vocalizing while playing, and he sounds demonic, like guttural, crazy shit. He was gonna die for that. If he didn't run into me, he would be dead. So yeah,
Which is
that's
insane. It's
Karen
insane.
Pryor, certified veterinary behaviorist approved force free advocate that works at the CNYSPCA. Her name's Donna Newman. She looks like she has the physique of Gru from the Minions movies or whatever, except she doesn't have the long legs. She's a fat fucking slob. She's a fat fucking slob, and I hope that fat bitch. I hope she. Yeah, I genuinely. She's on thinking canine level of truly like evil, like
Yeah.
crazy, like makes you want to believe in spirits. Like she walks into a room and like it gets cold, like
Yeah.
the Sixth Sense. Like
God.
she's a
Yeah.
horrible. Like oh
It's a
my god.
predator.
But
Yep.
but yeah, like actually,
Yep. Yep.
she's also one of the major reasons why everyone here is like horrified of me because she yeah I do wish her death so anyways, like if she could get like AIDS or something, it'd be sick. Like I'd be outside of her window at the hospital tapping on it laughing, showing her pictures of all the dogs.
Yep.
So anyways, to wrap it up, no. So like I wish hell was real. I wish it was. So um on the holding a ball is not a behavioral issue. Not being incapable of getting a dog to drop a ball doesn't mean that the dog has problems. It actually could be cool. Like that's
Yes.
actually
Actually
cool.
amazing. It's actually
Um,
great news.
yeah, depending on who you are, that could be really
Yep.
desirable.
Yep.
Like for one of us, that's fun.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, like I just people need to be comfortable asking questions and
Yep.
making
Yep.
stances, like
And when someone says
taking a
they say this dog is aggressive, ask them
right.
what they mean by that, which tell me
Yes.
the
Can
specific
we
behaviors,
can
not
we
just
go
a
into that?
label.
And
Yep.
ultimately too, I actually would be more okay. Not okay totally, obviously, because dogs are
Mhm.
dying. I'd be more okay if these people just stopped calling themselves behaviorists and stopped calling themselves dog trainers. If you were to strip it all down and say, you know what, actually, I am here to publicly admit I don't train dogs. I don't understand behavior. I don't. Like, I just don't. These behaviors are way outside of my skill level. I am afraid of these types of dogs. It just so happens I am in a position of authority and I believe I have the correct moral lens to deal out death. If they said that, I wouldn't leave them alone, but
Right. Right.
the nature of my attacks would be slightly different.
Yes.
I
It's
wouldn't
now you're not being intentionally dishonest, you are just ignorant and we
right,
have a
right.
perspective shift that we're trying to cause,
So
but it's not yeah.
right. So
There's
like
some mutual
for
respect at
example,
least there.
like thinking canine's dog um got scared in her backyard and jumped over a fence and got hit by a car. That's really funny. The dog died. I think it's very funny. And I let her know I think it's very funny. And I'll
Yeah.
continue to let her know that's funny. If
Just to
she
clarify,
were
we're sorry dog
honest,
died, but
no, it's very funny. And I like thinking about what
I mean, sad for
that's
the dog. Sad that the dog had to suffer and be in pain. That's the sad part.
what if I told you that she was doing a recall series with that dog that didn't go anywhere. Um
Really.
so yeah, that's what I've been told. But no,
Wow.
I think it's extremely funny. But that is because of her selling herself as a dog
Correct.
behavior expert. If you
Correct.
were straight up and said, no, I actually don't like dogs, and all I do is I help shelters decide which ones should die, be like, okay, you are still a vicious, brutal enemy, but I probably wouldn't take it that personal. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, she just she's posting videos of my kids and stuff, so it's like, okay, your dog died. It's funny. Like I'm gonna keep attacking that angle, but it is also it's important to let these people know that you are selling yourself as to these dogs you're god, right? Like you are the god of life and death to them, and you want us to all believe you are deserving of that authority. I'm watching you now, and I'm going to let people know this behavioral expert that spends her entire day ripping trainers to pieces over them just trying. That trainer with that dog, Travis, dude, do we have likely some methodological technique differences? Of course, we all do. He's trying to save the dog.
Yes.
You are trying to slaughter him.
Yes.
We are not the same. So I'm not going to treat you the same.
No.
All of you out there, all bets are off. There is no morality in this argument anymore because you took it there and you've been acting that way. I don't make the rules. So if you're going to be killing these dogs and you're going to be telling everyone they're wrong and you're right, why is it off limits that your dog broke out of your fence, you couldn't call her back and she got herself killed? Why why is it off limits to make a meme about your dog going, "Oh, mom's calling. I guess I'll die right now," and diving in front of a truck? That's fucking funny. And it's on the table now. It's on the
Oh,
table now.
yeah,
Sorry
yeah,
we have to hey, we have to go there. I'm not sorry for it.
yeah, yeah.
Um but
No, I
why is
just
it
hate
off
that your
limits?
dog's
Why
getting
is
hit
it
by
off
cars.
limits?
Just sad about
Why
that.
is it off limits? No, 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 no. Why is it off limits that Denise
I'm
Fenzi
not disagreeing with you. I'm just very sad about the dog.
yeah,
Anyway,
I
go
mean,
on. Go on.
well, if the dog had imagine if the dog had lived with a dog trainer, she'd still be here, right? Maybe if they had done some electric collar training. Maybe if she knew how to create trust with an animal. But she just kills them. So why is it off limits that Denise Fenzi had to rehome her own dog because of reactivity issues? Why is that off limits? That's off the table? Not anymore. It's in the middle of the fucking table. I'm making posters of that because you won't shut your dumb fuck mouth about reactivity in pet dogs. Hey, you are an abject failure on this with your own dog. So no, that's not off limits. I'll put it this way, and we had a conversation on this before. We would never be given the grace that they're given
No, no,
in a million fucking years. Could
no.
you imagine? Could you like? Let's just hypothetically. Let's go here, and this can get cut off the podcast if it has to be. Could you imagine if the reaction that would happen from Susan Gingrich, Michael Shikashio, Thinking Canine, all these people,
Mhm.
if one of my dogs bolted from my backyard and got hit and killed by a car?
Immediately. Yep.
What would the? Can you just?
Yep.
I genuinely want to hear what you think. What would they say?
Yeah, no, they would celebrate it. Yeah, absolutely.
But what would the nature of the celebration look like?
Oh, just that like the dog was like abused and scared and ran away, whatever, like attacks on your training, et cetera, et cetera.
Correct.
It would become
It would
ad
be
hominem.
used.
Yeah,
It would
yeah,
be used. Well, it would be ad hom for sure, but it would be used as a broader condemnation tool against balanced
yes,
training.
it's ammunition. Yeah,
It would
yeah, yeah.
literally be used as ammunition, like you just put. Look at this. An aversive based trainer. I bet he used an electric collar on that dog. What a mystery that that dog would rather go get hit by a car than go back to him. That is what would be the headline on every single one of their pages. Well, I mean, a lot of them do this like sort of backdoor in their own communities and their own
Yeah,
little
yeah.
private messages, which I see a lot of those. Um, so I have agents everywhere. So why are they permitted that behavior? And by the way, no one would raise
No,
a single problem about that.
nope,
Yeah, of course, they would just let it go. Like
yep,
all of them, all of our
mhm,
internet leaders would just
yep,
give that a pass.
yep.
Unacceptable. That's not how we play anymore. 2026 is the year of the savage. 2026 is the year that we start fucking punching back. This
Yep.
is where we go. No,
The
actually,
proletarians rise up. Yes, love this.
you created this. Now I'm gonna start playing by your rules. Cool. Sounds
Mhm,
good. Sounds good to
mhm.
me. I'm having a great fucking time. I'm actually not, but the gas pedal stays down until
Yeah.
you tap. We're gonna keep going. Anyways, yeah. The only drawback is I did get disinvited from the Shikashio cruise ship. Um,
Damn.
what a creepy fucking weirdo. They've got some sort of like sex cult swinger cruise for dog trainers.
Oh wait, I thought you were like actually making this all up, but you're like kind of acting a little bit serious right now. I can't tell.
Who's joking? Look it up. No, seriously, look it up. Look it up.
Okay, okay.
All right.
I will. I will.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that they would let me buy a ticket, but I would
Yeah.
want to. And I fear for the safety of people. I wonder what they're gonna. Yeah. I mean, we can speculate. You know, they ask. Yeah, I wonder what they're doing to the dogs in the car. I wonder what they're gonna be doing to the guests on the cruise ship.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Look it up.
I
All right.
seriously can't tell if you're being
So
sarcastic right now
so
or not.
so yeah. Look up the Shikashio tour, the cruise ship. This really good stuff. I'm definitely not going to be making fun of that.
Yep.
He imagine being Michael Shikashio right now and just like trying to not like I'm looking through his living room window and he's just trying to watch his TV and trying not to acknowledge that I'm standing there watching him. Like he's watching me go door to door to all of his friends and walking out with bloody footprints, just slaughtering. Susan Garrett too, she's still on the menu. I've got some stuff cooked up for her, not letting her go. Um, but yeah, Mikey, I'm coming. I'm not going to tell you what it's going to look like, but it's yeah. Be on your actually, you know what? Be on your best behavior. If you're on your best behavior, maybe I'll put you back down on the list. Um, Actually, no. You can avoid my wrath if you take a picture specifically for me on the cruise and you post it and you say, I want to give a shout out to my favorite dog trainer, day-to-day dog training. I wish you were here. Then I'll let you go for like a year. But then I'll be
Oh,
back.
God.
Anyways, that'll be his annual tithe to me.
Yes.
And I'll stop making memes about him.
Yeah.
I'm actually a Shikashio ethnicity truther.
Mm.
Anyways, yeah, this one got really brutal.
Yeah, it
It's
did.
just like,
It did.
but like when the topic is aggression against children, it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to like not get super fucking serious about it.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Super fucking serious about it. And again, of course, with shelters and behaviorists, it's always dogs dying. So it's like
Yep. Yep.
two completely like insane, brutal topics that have to be taken extremely seriously. And
And again,
I lack the patience at this point to engage on it without being full throated. Like just
and the reason I wanted to bring it up was because I want to make it very clear that it is not just the fact that behavioral euthanasia is happening, because that there's nothing inherently wrong with making a quality of life risk assessment decision. The problem is the way that decision is being made.
Yeah.
And like hopefully that's clear, but I think it's sometimes a little bit easy for people to see like, oh, you're attacking this person for recommending behavioral euthanasia, therefore Dylan doesn't agree with behavioral euthanasia.
Right.
And I know that's not true, but I think like
Right.
just the fact that there were questions about it made me want to.
That's becoming the sort of like the dumb hag straw man against me.
Correct. Yeah.
The Denise Fenzi, super granny, dog training granny. She's hitting a lot of that, talking shit about me, saying like, anyone that doesn't think that failure is something that can happen is a fraud. I've never, under any circumstances, said every situation is doable. But again, she doesn't care about reality. She cares about the perception that she's this sweet old granny. I'm coming back, Denise. Don't get comfortable. I'm coming back, but I'll be back. Trust me. Whew, man, I've got some intel on a specific scenario with her involving Anna. Don't worry about it. You'll hear about it. You'll hear about it soon enough.
Right. All right.
It involves a dog dying, unfortunately. Their favorite thing. But we are not. It is possible to have like rational balancing the. You have two outs, okay? If you're one of these people doing this, you have two outs. One, you acknowledge, hey, I should probably adapt my methods because I'm just being confronted with incontrovertible information. And the information, by the way, the evidence is only going to continue to stack.
Yep.
The people are mobilizing. People are going to be showing dogs now. It's happening already. People are asking questions. So you're like the warden in the Shawshank Redemption, where you're watching the police pull up. You're sitting in your office and you're like, okay, like it's time's up right now. So you've got two options, right? You plead guilty or you blow your brains out like he did. No, I'm just kidding. So you have two options here. Like you see accountability's coming. The specter of accountability is looming. It's coming. Critical thought, accountability, caring about dogs. So you have two options. You acknowledge that you're wrong and you begin taking steps to get better at handling dogs and evaluating dogs. You have three options. That's the first one. Second one is you realize this isn't for you. You don't actually like dogs that much and you just quit. And the third one is you just do a truthful rebranding.
Yep.
Where you say actually killing is cool.
Yep.
Just be honest about it.
Yep.
And some of them will, like when you batter, even balance people sometimes too. Is like when
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
really don't let them escape. This is when I would
Yeah.
love to corner like Shikashio on. When you don't
Mm,
let them escape and do all their parading and tiptoeing and what about this and oh, but that's an exaggeration. When you really are like, no, 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 no. Let's answer the fucking question. Many of them will just say, yeah, killing is good. Why do you or the way that they acknowledge that is by saying why do you take this so seriously? When you
yeah.
get that, that is them saying killing is good.
Yep.
So if you can just say that, I'm not going to leave you alone. Like we're still gunning
Yeah.
for you, but at least you can say that you're being honest about your intentions.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so again, you either get better at training dogs, get better at evaluating dogs, acknowledge that there's competing information that totally just trounces anything that you've ever been doing. I don't care how long you've been doing it for. You're bad.
Mhm.
We all should be able to look at ourselves and be like, hey, I
Yep.
think I'm bad and try to get better.
Yep.
You number two, you quit. Number three, you acknowledge that you're just a killer.
Mhm.
And you say you double down on it. So it's like you double
Yep.
down on everything else. You double
Yep.
down on being a dumb bitch and a fucking asshole and a psychopath. So just say it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? At least people will pay better attention, hopefully.
Yeah.
They're going to be paying better attention anyways because we're showing dogs. And again,
Yeah.
plans
Yeah.
plans are in motion. All right, the wheels of justice are beginning to spin. The
Yes.
ice is breaking off of it,
Yeah.
uh, and we've got motion. We've got white boy motion happening on the balance side. Got white boy motion. Okay, the white boys are coming. Uh, I'm going to continue to give Kimberly the creative decisions to cut anything that she needs to from the show. Um,
I don't think,
uh,
honestly, I probably won't cut much
that's
from this
scary.
one.
Even
It's,
even
I
me,
mean,
even me. So I'm going to level with you and our
yeah.
cherished audience. Even I am a little like, oh my god. Like if there's one to make some executive decisions for the program, this might be the one. So maybe just be very thorough when you're conduct a thorough evaluation when you go back on this.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
in rare form right now because there are good things happening that have me really wired that I can't talk about yet. That it's not a shoe in, but things are looking good. And I'll be able to talk to you guys about that type of thing soon. Kimberly has the information. She has the day-to-day file.
Behind the
But
scenes.
it's
Yeah.
just too soon. It's just too soon to reveal.
Yeah.
Because there could easily be like attempted
Yeah.
sabotage. Um,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that this could be the most unhinged episode ever.
Yeah.
This one's gonna be getting
Before we
flipped
leave it
into.
on like a super dark note though, and we can like save this for another episode, but I just want to bring it up as a potential topic.
Mhm.
Um Solutions to this problem. Like obviously like the given of what you just talked about with showing the dogs and getting
Mhm.
just education and information, but what other like
You need to, so yeah,
what I
what's the
asked, yes.
what's the
What's the
solution?
actual
Like how do we?
practical action items that people could take if they're fired up after this
I
podcast?
would say I would say I would say this is number one. It's actually like a really cool one, like a fun one.
Hmm.
And it might sound stupid. You're gonna know immediately. You're gonna be like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Show people how to play with dogs.
Yeah. Show
Play
people that real
reveals.
dogs are not actually
Play
problematic.
reveals. Correct.
Yes.
Play reveals. Play is the most potent force, not just for behavior and training, but I also think for truth. It is play. That is where it is just laid on the line. This is the dog, right? And I talk about this again. I keep referencing my workshop video series, Play Will Save the Day, on the Training Without Conflict website, getting overwhelmingly positive reviews. Some say the greatest dog training program ever put to the internet. I didn't say that myself, but I heard it from plenty of people. But play actually, if you are seeking to evaluate a dog and find actual problems, play is actually like a fucking amazing way to do that.
Yeah.
But if you're just like, I want to challenge the perception
Yeah.
that energetic, driven,
Yeah.
strong-willed, cool dogs are inherently bad and dangerous and a scourge to society. Go out and play hard and show people how to do it. Show people that getting your dog into a state where he's wrestling and jumping and chasing and growling and barking and snapping, and show them how beautiful that can be. That is the thing that just cannot be challenged. Like those dogs, if any one of us in one of these horrible, sad, brutal videos, any one of us that knows what we're doing, walked onto the field with a ball on rope, that dog that is being sold as a monster would turn into the perfect family pet in
Light
about
up.
5 seconds.
Yep. Yep.
5 fucking seconds.
Yep.
So they deserve the chance. And unfortunately, the way that the game has been designed and rigged, in large part due to balanced trainer indifference and cowardice, it is not just a meritocracy on dog training. It's an information war and a perception war.
It is. Yep.
And we've for too long been battling on their terms and allowing the enemy to leverage the only weapons that they have, which are deception and manipulation. So the way that you destroy that and illuminate the nature of dogs is to show play.
Is he?
That would be my number one, just off the cuff.
Yeah.
Go out and have a good time with your dogs. If you can go the extra mile and go play with shelter dogs specifically, that's another one but it doesn't need to be, but that is unfortunately, like you were saying earlier, that's like sort of the ground zero for the problem. And it's where it's happening behind closed doors, so it doesn't get enough attention. But like you said, they will be coming for any of the other dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's this whole problem. It may not matter to you immediately right now, but like you said, as much as they hate the shelter pit bull mud, they hate your German Shepherd too.
Yep.
They hate your Rottweiler.
Yep.
They hate your Mal. They are afraid of your Cane Corso.
Yep.
They see them in their nightmares, and their dream is for them to not exist. So go out and show the true reality of who your dogs are. We would say, I'll speak for myself, but I think you likely agree in many respects. Play is the way to do it. That shows the reality.
Yep. No, I agree, because that is show a dog growling during play who is wildly safe. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
those kind of surface level, the way that these people flatten behavior, play makes it untrue, right? Like you can't just look at the surface level and make a life and death decision based off of energy and arousal levels or whatever, or growling or vocalization or lunging. Like any of this stuff is like it's just so
that dog Harvey,
it's a 1%. Yeah,
that dog Harvey, one of my best friend's dogs that got plucked from the shelter. He was days from being put down. Last ditch effort. You have one chance. He's growling at people from the other side of the fence. What are you going to do? Of course I'll help. I'm a dog trainer. They let him out. I give him a ball and rope and we start playing. Should I have worn safety equipment because this dog weighs like 85 pounds? Yeah, of course, but I didn't. But what was I doing with that dog 2 minutes in? I'm on the ground with him. He's got a bite. I've got the line, and he's growling his head off.
Yep.
And we're chasing each other around. And I teach him to drop the toy on command. And it's over.
Yep.
And we're playing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, and it's not hard.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
It's not.
It's so easy, dude. It's so easy. That's If this were a case, and this would be I'm going to make a slight prediction.
Yeah.
Slight prediction. All of these freaks, when they just come up with excuses, goalposts, lies, whatever. When they see people start to accomplish this, like on a broader, more macro scale, and give dogs a chance, they are going to have to claim that this type of training requires too deft of a hand and too much pristine expertise. They're going to have to be acknowledging that they're actually really bad and that our methods require skill, which actually is a lie.
Yeah,
because I don't think it requires a lot of skill to do most of this.
But
that is where they will go.
Require way more.
Correct.
Skill.
With no payoff. with zero payoff.
Yes.
But they require great immaculate timing, distance management, consistency, just strategy. Like it's just fucking and you get nothing. You get fucking nothing. You get a dog that requires that until the end of time. And then when he's 9.5 years old and doesn't have the energy to dive at joggers anymore, you start doing a victory lap. Yeah. Yep. But it doesn't, like the dogs, dude, with good dog training, I think the dogs do so much of the work just through their nature.
Yes. Yes.
So if I'm trying to evaluate the dog, I'm not really doing so much as I am giving him a platform to speak. That and I believe, and I know you believe, dogs are inherently good. That they are good animals, right? So if you give them a platform, the truth cannot be denied, right? So that's what it's about. Play is just an undefeated means of accomplishing that.
Yeah. 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 And I think again, like just give yourself permission to step outside of the box a little bit. And do not like non-traditional dog training. Yeah. People
And
have
do
just been
this.
putting a
You don't even have to do this at shelters either, dude. Go do
no.
this like any like.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that, right? That's just a really easy way to accomplish it.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be. If you're running a pet business, like consider this. Consider instead of like you should be showing your work, you should be showing all the obedience. You should be instead of putting up infographics and brain rot, like put up your training, stand by your work, be proud of it, be proud of the use of aversives, be proud of what you do, but also make sure you mix in. Hey, like I'm playing with the fucking dog, man. And look, like we're in a public park playing. He's growling and barking and chasing.
Yep.
And there's people around. And even though a behaviorist on the other side of the screen might be afraid, everyone around here doesn't even think twice because you know why? People know what it looks like when dogs are playing. And it's fun. And it's not dangerous. And he's allowed to carry his ball with his head up and push it into your stomach and say, let's fucking go again. He's not like, God, it's so, it's just gross. And I can see it on your face. It's gross to think anyone would perceive that as bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Particularly professionals that are being hired to help.
Correct.
That they would see that as a bad thing. You know, it's like imagine you've got an art class. And
I was just about to say you're going to make me go off about society and how we do this.
And we can't because I just don't have the time. But imagine you have like a pottery class.
Yep.
And you're forcing all of the kids, and these are 10-year-olds, to do it exactly to the design that you handed them. And one of the kids comes up with something that's a little bit off, but it's kind of cool, and he's proud of it. And you go over and you fucking smash it in his face. That is what behaviorists do with dogs.
Yep.
That is what they do every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And they get paid heaps of money for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they ask you to thank
class
them.
right now or something because you like keep bringing up pottery analogies. It's very funny.
No, I have fond memories of pottery class, but also
yes.
my brother was just visiting, and he's like a 30-year-old man that does pottery now for some
Love
reason.
Love that.
Cool. Just very California of him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But yeah, that show the sloppiness and the not even grittiness, but like just
but the raw humanity,
the raw element.
Yeah.
And then contrast that to when you do get one of these freaks to show anything that they call training. Look at the dogs and look how they're interacting, and compare that to what you just did with that dog, and just wonder what's real, what's desirable, right? Yep. What's a good life for the dogs? What's a good life for their people? And it's not. We need to start putting the truth in front of so many people that it cannot. The elephant in the room is now like a dragon. Like you cannot ignore this. It's gonna stomp you. You cannot. Like that is what has to happen. Yeah, I'm glad we're ending on this one.
Yeah.
And I want to mention too that this is the worst episode for me to have a name like this. And it's like crazy. It was like there was a day, no joke. Do you want a little behind the scenes, behind the curtains before I so the day that I knew at the shelter workshop we were going to be covering brutal like topics like this, like really crazy kennel anxiety cases, dogs mutilating themselves, like crazy shit, and like just the insanity of trainers letting dogs suffer. I went to walk out of the door. Hey, Favor. I went to walk out of the door to go to Ivan's, and I looked in the mirror, and I was wearing my Chihuahua T-shirt,
Yes.
and I was like, I can't wear this shirt. It's like the tonal clash of me wearing that Chihuahua shirt while we're covering the most brutal, like we're going over really sad videos and like the most brutal subjects, and I'm wearing this fucking like retarded Chihuahua mountain landscape T-shirt. Just so I changed. I saved that for another day where we were doing more fun things. But that's what's
That's
happening
funny.
right now with the screen name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know how people are gonna react to this one. This is a brutal one. It's a really, really brutal one.
It is. Now, I think I'm
really
going to
so.
title this like a depressing episode on behavioral euthanasia.
How about you have to get the word children in there because right now it's like it's a hot topic.
Yeah.
So capitalize on that. Get the kids involved.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll have to think about it.
Yeah. Go out, play with your dogs, show people that it's good. Let the dogs express themselves.
Even Ferret plays. She loves.
Yeah.
Loves.
And no one gets hurt.
Currently got her little Christmas pickle.
No one gets hurt, right?
Yep.
Make them force them to publicly say we don't like that.
Yep.
That's what I do. That's what I represent, and it's working. So we need a lot of that. Force them to say I do not like those dogs having a good time. I would rather them be dead. Mm-hmm. And like I said, the ball is only rolling, just starting to roll. Like I personally, like I see a lot of, again, white boy motion on the front. I see a lot of you guys out there getting after it. I will tell you personally, as long as you guys keep going all out, I will continue to go all out. I am not bored, tired, worried, or anything. Like I'm actually quadruple this year. My resolution is to quadruple down on everything, which Kim is now regretting turning on this podcast. Anyways, yeah, I gotta take the dogs out again. They're dying. So yeah. If anybody made it this far, fucking Christ.
Yeah, right.
See you guys. Bye.